Welcome back to the Words from the Nerds podcast with the OGs, the ones that were here when this train first started, that were here for a good year carrying the workload. It's
We
the
don't have as
original.
many vacation opportunities.
it's the unks here of the Words from the Nerds podcast. Aiden and Charlie. It's always fun to kind of just jump in here, just me and you. Like, nothing on Ben. We love Ben,
sure.
but like,
Of course, 100%. I love. I wish he would take us on those vacations too, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man. We could pod from beautiful sunny beaches.
Yeah.
Obviously, we love Ben, but you know, there were times where we were covering She-Hulk week to week. We were covering the last.
Matt, should we have Ben on those?
Oh, and it was just us two. So, again, it's another episode of just us two. What a week for Ben to miss. I'm sure he is regretting all of it. Ben, if you're watching, go ahead and send a little text message to us. I know that I know you like to sneak. You like to be a little sneaky and watch the episodes that you're not in, thinking that you'll catch something. And nothing but good things to say this time around. All right.
No, not me. That guy.
No, hey, Ben, he said it, not me. I'm invited to the next vacation. All right. We're here tonight to discuss a lot of glorious, amazing things. I told y'all before, we started recording. This is like top 5 most excited I've ever been to hop in and talk about something. Just in general, I mean, we got a bunch of Marvel news that came out today. Absolutely crazy out of left field stuff at that. And what does that say? The last blockbuster what?
I think it's just the last block. And then it's the city. It's the city.
Damn. R.I.P. Go ahead and pour one out. Pour some out.
It's still alive, bro. It's still alive, bro. Well, it's the last one. It's the last one. Come on.
From what? 2007?
Sure, man.
We're very excited to be here. Very happy to be here. We got a lot of great, glorious things to talk about. I forgot where I was, but regardless, Mr. Charles, tell us a little bit about the last time we spoke. How you've been? How the days have gone?
I've been really good, man. I was lucky enough to get to go see the wonderful Thunderbolts again, so that was nice. Still very, very good the second time. That's close to better, but yeah. I don't.
That's what I was going to ask. If you're still riding the Thunderbolts high, because I am.
Absolutely. I
love
the
cast interviews, dude. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. I don't think like there's a conversation to be had about like recency bias. I don't think. Well, okay, I don't think there's a conversation to be had. Actually, let me clarify that. But what I'm trying to say is I don't see this falling off a cliff like Deadpool and Wolverine did for us, like we talked about last week. I don't see that happening with this movie. And with some news that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, I'm eternally excited about the future relating to some of the crew behind Thunderbolts. But, I mean, yeah, good week, man. I've been just working. And so it's cool, a little bit of insight into my work. So my head manager, who typically writes my schedule, was on vacation this last week, so the assistant manager wrote the schedule, and he fucked up. He fucked up. He gave me an hour of overtime for 3 days straight. So I'm taking that. Wow. You got me tripping, bro. An hour of overtime. I'll take that time and a half for an hour every day. You got me tripping. So, and I checked. It's in the computer, and it was on the printed wall schedule. So it's go time, baby. It's go time. Even if you change it now, I'm just gonna be like, I read what I read, bro. I read what I read, dog. So got me tripping.
Bread.
100%.
They just came in and fired my store manager and the assistant manager.
Damn.
Doing them dirty,
the store manager. I guess that's not unheard of. That happened in my store before.
Bro, get this, bro. They were setting a lot of unrealistic expectations on her, and I felt really bad for her. She's a great manager. One of the best bosses I've ever worked for. So they were setting a bunch of unrealistic expectations. She wasn't being able to capitalize just because you can't run the store with what they were expecting. So they straight up told her, hey, when old corporate boss gets off of paternity leave from having his kid, he's going to come in and fire you. Just letting you know.
He straight
And
up told her.
she's like, okay, so I can wait 2 months for him to get back and just aimlessly, keep giving my life to them. Or I can just say, F it, I'm out of here. So she gave her 2 weeks notice. As soon as she gave her 2 weeks notice, old district manager came in and said, yeah, your last day's today, buddy, not 2 weeks from now. Go ahead and clock out for me. Got rid of both of them because the assistant manager put her 2 weeks in too. And so the rest of this week, they are just grabbing managers from everywhere around here to come fill in for them. And we have been fucked every day. Dude, it's Jesus, bro. It's horrible.
Damn.
It's
you in that transition. That transition period.
It's wild. So yeah, who knows? We used to always be able to just come in and get overtime and just work, like come in and work on our days off, whenever, however we wanted. And those days seem to be over.
Damn. That's something I should I should preface with my story too, not to detract from yours, but we're not typically allowed overtime. Like it's a very special occasion when we get overtime. So that's why it's kind of a big deal for that. But yeah.
Yeah. That boy's up right now.
Yes, sir.
I've been good too. Like I said, I've been riding that Thunderbolts high. Keep thinking about the movie, keep thinking about all the fun things about it. It's funny because it's like those, and we've done this before, especially with She-Hulk, where in the moment we're like, man, this is really good, this is hitting, and then like we look back and we're like, that was actually kind of bad. Same thing with Agatha. I know me for sure. I was very forgiving through like week to week watching it. But I look back and even I think I caught it in the last episode where I was like, yeah, honestly, thinking back on this is bad. This is really bad. I do not like this at all. But there are those couple of projects that stick out, like Loki season 2 and Loki season 1. Even looking back to like WandaVision, where I was high on it, low on it, and then I think back and I'm like, okay, maybe I was a little like, and even aspects. And I say aspects, I highlight aspects of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like I saw somebody posted a scene of Bucky and Sam sitting across each other, and she's like, "Come on, just tell him." Actually, and he's like, "You know what? I'm mad that you gave up that shield."
Dude,
like, man,
and that's in episode 2. That's in episode 2 when you guys were shitting on it. That's crazy.
After everything we've seen, like I even want to go back and rewatch Black Widow because I'm like, maybe I was tripping there too. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was tripping a little bit there too.
There might be some of that.
There's projects, there's those little ones that stick out where, and more so Loki season 2 than any of them, where you finish them, you look back and you're like, no, I'm still, and that's how you know it's a banger. And Thunderbolts is so doing good, that. Bro. It's crazy, man. That you're cooking when you get those 2014 Facebook memes of Avengers, of the cast and crew. You get like, I watched
the wrong Thunderbolts movie.
here's 2.5 minutes of the Thunderbolts crew being silly, goofy, and it's like, what Tumblr ass shit is this? You're back when you start to see those, and those little memed edits of the Thunderbolts cast, and so we're back. It's been such a fun week, just like getting to continue thinking about the movie and how great it is, and I'm very happy. Binged a ton of Andor. I think I watched like 9 episodes in the span of like 2 days, which is unheard of for me. But like that should tell you how serious I was about getting back on this train after season 1 ended. So I'm excited to talk about that today. We got The Last of Us later on, but before that, we got some MCU news that just absolutely blew us away today. Was not expecting this at all. That's why I say Ben. I'm sure Ben is very sad he's missing out on this. The first bit of news, I didn't save it, but I needed to see her name. I'm pulling it up right now. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Since their new title, we got a official casting, and that is Lisa Colon Zayas, better known as her role as oh my god, what is her
oh man, you're gonna make me look
oh
like a bad
my
too,
god, bro. I was waiting for you to just blurt it out and talk crap on me, so I'm glad that.
Well, it's because season 3 was so
Tina
bad, bro.
Tina
There we go. Yeah, nice.
Tina from The Bear has been cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day. My god, the second Bear cast member, whatever, to be plucked and pushed into the MCU. A testament to that show, because I'm sure, you know, they got a lot of their pickings there. Go ahead and you tell me your immediate thoughts of who you think she could be playing.
Okay.
I already know.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
I think we both know the elephant in the room.
Now, let's see.
I'll pull the picture up of her and her casting right now, by the way. Okay. But for audio listeners.
So for what we're hinting at, chat, I guess I'll just say is we don't know this. This is not something that we have insider knowledge on. There's no way we have insider knowledge on anything. But we potentially think that she could be playing Miles's mother.
Oh, talk to me,
Rio Morales. But you know, that remains to be seen. But if that's the case, that's exciting to me. That's exciting news to me. I very much enjoy that information. But I also do think I want to point out, like, I mean, of course, I love her. I love her in The Bear. I think she does a fantastic job, and I'm glad she's getting work outside of that, especially in the MCU. I guess maybe technically with Sony here, but it doesn't matter. I feel like they could have.
She's Puerto Rican.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know that she was. That just like
there we go.
That's it up like another.
Yeah. But the thing is, isn't the voice actress for Miles's mom in the Spider-Verse movies, didn't she also Puerto Rican? Because that's what I was gonna say. Is like they could have, like, she's around the right age. I feel like they could have cast her too, which would have been like a cool carryover kind of thing. And it would have, I don't know. But I mean, that's, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm very excited about this casting either way. Even, and again, this is all conjecture. Like, we don't know that this is, she's 100% playing Rio Morales, but just a cool thought experiment if she is. That's what we're talking about. 107,000 likes on this post too, by the way. That is crazy. The hype for Brand New Day is already going crazy, bro. Dude, the hype for Brand New Day is already going crazy.
That is my number one pick. If it like falls to me, that this is 1,000%. Y'all can take the Odyssey. This is my number one pick.
What? Bro, there's no way, dude.
Look at
you talking
MCU,
about. I'm about to go look right now.
Bro, every single one is above a 90. Every single one.
No way, bro. On both scores?
I think I would say yes right now, but I'm sure that there's an 80 somewhere in there. No way.
87 on Homecoming for audience, but yeah, 92 critic.
Yeah. That's it. That's 187 across all three movies, audience and critic score. Wow. 187. And it's an 87, bro. They are universally loved on Rotten Tomatoes.
And don't get me wrong, I want this to do good. I do want this to be a good movie and want it to be reviewed well on Rotten Tomatoes, because obviously I love Spider-Man. But if you get this on your list, that's a. I have to be praying on its downfall, bro.
I have to. Also, the voice actress for Rio Morales is Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Okay. See, so like that, I feel like that could have been a cool thing too. She might be slightly on the older side, I guess, but I still think it could work absolutely. But if that's the case, and Liza or Lisa is playing Rio Morales, I'm excited. I'm super excited. Or even if she's not, like, I'm super excited to see her either way, because I know she's got acting chops. I just hope it's not like a I mean, even if she was playing Rita Morales, it is kind of just like a side character type of thing. There's no way she's going to have like a super prominent role in the movie. But
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
excited to see
I
it
mean,
nonetheless.
I'm all for it. I love my bear actors. I love seeing them spill into the MCU.
I got him on the show, by the way, chat. He's talking about it like he loves it and he's an OG lover, but I got him on the show. All right, I had to force him to, I had to put it in front of his face, in fact, to get him to watch it. But
Nah,
that's whatever.
no, because actually I didn't watch it until like another couple, like a good like 5 months after you showed it to me. So by that point, I had long forgot about you. Don't flatter yourself. Yeah, dude. Amazing. This is awesome news. I'm happy to see our first like official. If this makes sense, since the title's been released, this is our first official casting that has come from like a reliable source, not a Sadie Sink as this or whatever. This is our first
Sadie
official
Sink
casting.
wasn't from Deadline, really?
I don't think she's been casted for anything. Like, I don't think she's been officially casted at all. Wait, maybe she did. Maybe I'm just thinking of like the whole MJ and like Jean Grey of it. Like, that's not official, but she is. Even then, it's not. It wasn't after the title came out.
Oh, since the title,
like
that's what you're saying.
Solidified movie. Yeah, like this is the first piece of news that's kind of getting the ball rolling. That wasn't the title drop. I'm just trying to make it sound more important than it is. Either way, I'm a huge fan of this. I think it's awesome. I'm very excited to see her come into the MCU, and it's going to be in a Spider-Man movie, which is that much better. And then our next,
Spider-Man,
buddy. Hey, don't make me pull out the tattoo, bro. You don't deserve to see that. Our next piece of news. Coming just days after Kevin Feige himself said he has a 10-year plan for this group of heroes, and that is Jake Schreier, director of the coveted, universally loved Thunderbolts movie, is in talks to direct the X-Men movie.
Also, real quick, just to interrupt you, just because we were talking about Rotten Tomato scores for Spider-Man movies. I'm sorry, and absolutely no fucking world at all should Far From Home be above Thunderbolts in both critic or audience score. And it's not above it I think it is above it critic. Yeah, it is. It's above it.
Yeah.
That should not be the case. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't be the case. But continue, sorry.
I mean, Spider-Man is loved, bro. When I saw those I'm like for the MCU, for Tom Holland Spider-Man, where like you can look at all three of those movies and genuinely say, yeah, all fall in the 7.5 to 8 out of 10 range. Nowhere near a 95, 97, especially not for anything that's not titled No Way Home.
Insane.
Crazy. But I would love to use that to my advantage, and I would also get a Spider-Man movie on my list. So that's one to look out for. I know Ben's probably listening. It'd probably be better for us if he wasn't, because then we could never tell him that information, and then it'll be up to one of us. And then because he won't even think about it, he'll be on the Odyssey or what else is like super. What else is like him? When I look at him and his list, he's checks out Daredevil, Doomsday. Ballerina, 100%. Doomsday.
He'll try. Well, actually, he's been talking down on it like me, so maybe not.
I'm thinking more like big scale action movies that are like loved on Rotten Tomatoes, which is Ballerina, Mission Impossible, and Daredevil. I
don't know any big action movies other than The Odyssey coming out next year.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll look at some and see what's more his taste. I don't think Spider-Man Brand New Day would be on his list unless he's listening right now. So let's hope he's not. Anyways, Jake Schreier directing X-Men. Oh, give me your thoughts, man.
Hey, man.
Holy.
Come on now. You know my thoughts, bro. Jeez, what are we talking about? Beef acclaim, Thunderbolts acclaim. Like, brother, this is what the MCU needs. If you give, and I also want to preface with this, I think that they did a good job of letting him cook with Thunderbolts. So I hope, with that being said, y'all let him cook again with X-Men if you so choose to give him X-Men. I hope that he hires the same writer. I forget her name, but she also worked on The Beef with him. Actually, I'm gonna look up her name because she needs her flowers. But I mean, dude, just the way that he was able to handle all of the different characters in this movie, in characters that we already like don't really care about, you know.
Yeah.
And he made us care about them, and the writer, she made us care about them. Think about Joanna Kahlo. Thank you. Not why did I think myself? I looked it up. Oh my gosh. But the fact that they were able to make those characters that we don't care about make us care about them. Think of, I don't know, Wolverine. If Wolverine's even going to be included, I know that there's wishy-washy stuff with Hugh Jackman and everything there. But Cyclops, my favorite X-Men, like character I already love. Like if you do that shit justice, do that shit anywhere close to X-Men 97. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, fucking fuck. Oh,
Well, and
shit,
it's not
man.
even just Jake. Jake Schreier's direction. Am I saying? Oh my god, why am I like just crapping out on his name?
Schreier. Jake Schreier. Yeah.
Okay.
Schreier.
Cool.
Schreier.
I thought I had it even more wrong.
Schreier might be closer actually, but
Jake.
whatever.
Yeah, Jake Schreier. Not even just his direction, but like bring back and you were saying this, bring back the whole crew that worked on this movie. Holy shit, dude. Bring the cinematographer, bring the person that I don't know if cinematographers do color grading, do they? Or is that like a different
I mean, I'm sure it's in combination with the director
combination? I don't know. I always just see people talking about
and the editor, maybe.
Yeah, I always just see people talking about Better Call Saul cinematography, and so I never know if they're also talking about like the colors or just them putting the cameras in the most like obscure places ever. Anyways, bring the entire team in. You know that had a hand in putting this movie together. Even just all of the practical sets and here's the thing. Here's the only thing that I'm worried about. I was thinking about this earlier. Every single one of the Thunderbolts or the new Avengers are assassins that are more like, you know, action movie type, like, oh, John Wick, Ballerina, whatever, just things like that. These are assassins, these are mercenaries, except for Sentry. And the one scene we saw Sentry doing work in, it didn't look that great.
Sure.
So what happens if you have a Jean Grey, a Storm, a Mystique, a Colossus, whatever you're going for, and we have fight scenes like that? That's the only place I haven't seen Jake Schreier exceed. Everywhere else, he is God to me. But that scene with that fight scene with Sentry is where I'm like, man, you're gonna have a lot of these people in your group. Like, are you going to make them all grounded? Which I'm sure he wouldn't. I'm sure he wouldn't touch the X-Men like that. But it begs the question. How do you navigate that?
See, and I would say, like, because there's a lot of different things that could have went into that. Like, who knows how rushed the VFX artists were across this? Because, I mean, looking at Doomsday, holy shit, they were going to be rushed, you know? So
that movie's gonna look like The Flash. It's gonna make The Flash look like Avengers Endgame.
And Fantastic Four even is rushed. I mean, it looks really good from everything we're seeing. Ben Grimm looks good. His Reed's stretching powers look good. But like, think about it. It started filming after Superman finished filming, so around July. So it's gonna from filming to post production. It's very rushed kind of timing there. But if Matt Shakman can rally his troops together, his VFX artists and the VFX lead, excuse me, can keep everybody in check on Fantastic Four. Who's to say that like Jake Schreier couldn't have done that with Thunderbolts as well, you know, and his VFX lead. So I get 100% understand what you're saying. So I'm with that, and I also hope that Marvel, having this be their first foray into the actual full X-Men team under the Marvel Studios banner, other than X-Men 97. I'd hope that they'd want to take more care with it and
Yeah.
take the time to make sure that the effects are in a place that look good, more than good, great.
I'm sure that I get the feeling. I don't know if this is true, but I get the notion. I get the feeling that Feige would care a lot more about the X-Men this time around than he did about starting up the Avengers that first time around. If that makes sense. I feel like he strikes me as the type of guy that if he had it his way, X-Men would have been first,
before
and
the
he could
Avengers,
have,
sure.
yeah, like that is his baby. I'm not sure. I know that the first like projects he worked on with Marvel were the X-Men movies, um, or I think it was Wolverine. I'm not sure, and I also might be wrong on that, but I feel like that's the first time we saw his name in the credits was, um, maybe it was Wolverine, the first Wolverine movie. I'll have to double check that. But anyways, he strikes me as that type, especially the fact that he has a 10-year plan for the X-Men, and we just saw everything that just happened in the 2020s with post Endgame Marvel. It's like, all right, that's the complete opposite of a 10-year plan. Obviously, knowing all the details now, I can give him grace, but I feel like he would really focus and hone in a lot more on his skill with the X-Men than he would with any other characters or teams. So I have a lot of hope. I think this is all good news. This is all the best news that I feel like we could hear regarding the X-Men. He has a 10-year plan. Jake Schreier's in talks to direct. The movie probably won't come out for another like 4 or 5 years, but they're already fast tracking, or not fast tracking. They're already getting all these eggs in a basket. We're already hearing talks of like castings, whether that's like a Jean Grey, rumor cast, or if it's like a Hunter Dickinson, I think his name is, for Cyclops rumors. They're not just popping up out of nowhere. Wait, maybe it's not Hunter Dickinson.
Is that the guy from the Iron Claw?
Yeah. Is it? What is his name? The only Hunter Dickinson actor is for a short. Dude, I know I sound so stupid right now, too, to everybody.
I don't know. Hunter Dickinson it sounded familiar to me. Is maybe the
No, Hunter Dickinson is not anybody of importance. Harris Dickinson. Okay, I wasn't that far off.
Harris guy?
Okay, I wasn't that far off. Him as Cyclops. Those rumors like that don't just kind of pop up out of nowhere, especially this far away from the film. So that's the point I was trying to make. So yeah, I feel like this is all some of the best news that we could be hearing in terms of the X-Men. So I can't complain, and I am all for it.
Me too, brother.
Um,
I like Thunderbolts more than you, so of course I'm excited for it.
who saw it first? Oh yeah, all right. You can never come back from that. Who saw it first?
Oh, sorry
Weeks before
you're
you?
sorry
Okay.
you're rich and you get to travel wherever you want to, bro. Sorry.
Hey, I am not the one. The one you should be saying that to is on vacation right now. Coming into our next bit of news, we are gonna have to sever really quick because I have to pee, and I need to be locked and loaded and hone in on this discussion. So we're gonna sever for a quick second. All right, Charlie, ready? We're going down the elevator.
Shut up.
Oh my gosh. There you go. Charlie unsevered. All right. What I have been waiting for all freaking week.
Not as big a fan as me, bro. Calm down.
Our discussion. This boy don't even know Star Wars like that. He don't even know who Mon Mothma is, man. Now he does.
Oh yeah,
I
do
bet
know.
now he does.
Yeah, now I do, boy. Come on now.
We have our discussion.
Hell, I probably know the
Andor.
best version of her now. Like, come on.
And you know what? Just based off my like very basic Star Wars knowledge, I think I would agree. I think I would say that you're correct. We have Andor season 2 to cover. If y'all listened last week, or if you're new here, we were caught up to season 1 last week. We gave our thoughts to that because me and Charlie had just watched all of season 1. Ben had watched it a couple months ago for the first time, and Charlie had watched all 6 episodes at that point in time. I hadn't watched any. Ben had watched 3. Ben's not here, so now we finally get to like freely talk about Andor season 2, which, as I said, I've caught up over the past week since we've talked. I've watched all 9 episodes of season 2, so I've had a lot to like put in the back of my brain and like think about, and as we lead up to this discussion. So I'm very excited. I say we go through all 3 arcs. Also, last week I hit the nail on the freaking head with saying that the arcs are all like 4 BBY, 3 BBY, 2 BBY, and then I can only assume that 10, 11, 12 will be 1 BBY.
I tried to lie to you and throw you off. Because you
Which
asked,
y'all did
like, are you talking about like time skips? And I was like, no, I wouldn't call them that.
Yeah, y'all did a good job. I re-listened to the episode and I listened to whenever y'all told me to take my headphones off and everything y'all said, and then me throwing my theory out. And I'm like, it's so funny that y'all are all like, yeah, dude, and then doing the 1 year per 3 episodes, like it's just crazy. And then I'm like, are they doing that? And y'all are like, I don't really know. I mean, I wouldn't say yes. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm wrong. All right, cool. We can start with episodes 1 and 3 now. I've talked to you a little bit about this. I even recorded a whole 6-minute video on here on my computer because I had a lot of thoughts. I had a lot of thoughts and critiques, more so to do with characters and character choices. I am going to go back on that a little bit now that I've gotten to 6 episodes. And I'll tell you what I mean. So the first 3 episodes, and I sent you a little voice message being like, I really hate this rebel crew. Like, I don't really care about like their infighting. But looking back on it, and looking forward to like everything that we see with Star Wars and even with like Mon Mothma later on in this season, highlighting the interfighting with these rebel groups that have no leadership, that are all just scattered across the galaxy. And we even see that with like Yavin being there in the future rebel base, seeing that they are right there next to it, and then seeing what that becomes 3 years later. I think just like it drives that point home so much more. So it's like, as much as I didn't like that little part of the first episode and a half and how Andor was like caught in between all of this, I thought it was boring. But looking back on it, I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, that's fine, not a big deal. That wasn't even one of my critiques. I was just talking shit to y'all. It really comes with cutting to Brasso, Willman, and Bix, and how these characters really just seem to have not absolutely, but they were very boring without Cassian being there at this point in the story. Willman was just off chasing this girl, and then we see him do it again later, and like luckily he's like saved, but like he's back and he meets back up with Cassian. But it's like, I don't know, just, and I'm jumping a little bit far, but like this has to do with the character of Willman, where he just tells Cassian, no, I have to go. Like, this is the second chick we've seen you with, because you're stationed in this planet and she's a local here. Like, it's so aggravating. And it's a very, human thing. I mean, he looks like a young, early 20s teenage kid. I get it. He loves really hard, and it shows for his fight with the rebellion. I get it. It's like, okay, cool. I can excuse that. But what my whole critique really focused on was characters, specifically Bix and Vel. Vel was the girl in the heist that is now in the heist with Cassian. The one that we focus on the cousin of Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at episode 1, season 1, all the way to season 2, episode 9, if you look at this grand story, I feel like we have a lot. Well, and for Vel's case, when she gets introduced in episode 3 or 4, I feel like early on, Bix and Vel were really interesting characters that I found myself enjoying watching without Cassian having to be there. And then in the middle of that, which would be late season 1 and early season 2, they were nothing. And like Bix had the crit, like all of the, like she had the torture scene, she had all of that, which was like gut wrenching. It added a lot to her character, especially as we see towards the end of the show. Which is why I say the last 6 episodes have really changed that for me and have really erased those critiques for me. Because then we see Vel also come back. But Vel, especially in those middle, in the middle of the grand scope of Andor, she was used for nothing but reaction shots. And I really disliked that because I loved her character. I loved the reveal that she's cousins with Mon Mothma, and I love that line of Mon Mothma being like, "Just go be a rich girl. Like, just that's what you have to do. Just go be rich. Like, you're there." But I wanted to see so much more of her, especially her and Cinta. But I feel like we only saw them when we cut to Ferrix, and they were there for a reaction shot of what was happening in front of them, such as Marva's speech, and they were just so reduced from how grand of a character they both were in that heist arc. And so that really bummed me out because throughout those first 3 episodes, I just wasn't getting that. I was getting a lot of Cassian. I was getting a lot of Mon Mothma, which I see now that they are both just like parallel lines of our main characters of this show. And I that's totally fine with me. I love that. But I couldn't help but just be like, man, I wish this crew that like they were really only there. And this is going to sound bad saying, but like obviously before the whole scene with her and that Imperial Guard. But I'm like, man, they are really just there. Every single time we see them, they're talking about waiting for Andor to show up. That kind of feels like their characters at this point. Only like just boring until Andor shows up. And it felt like the writing of their characters was really relying on the fact that, yeah, these characters aren't nothing because they have no leadership until Andor gets here. So for a while, seeing them there, and again, all these critiques are just coming from those first 2 episodes because I think episode 3 was phenomenal and for me should have been held in the same conversation as 6 and 10 from season 1. I really loved episode 3. I liked it a lot. Seeing him leave Yavin, hearing his conversation with Aaliyah, I think her name is Eleya. Luthen's sidekick, Kalia.
Oh, Clea.
Clea, sorry. Seeing his conversation with Clea and her being like, I don't know, it's blocked off. Like comms are blocked off to them, and then seeing Andor just be like, "Oh, say less." Hangs the phone up, goes straight to that planet, and just wreaks havoc because he knows why he's like, comms are off does not mean a good thing. Like, if I'm not in communication with them, I need to go find out why. And it's so cool to see him like struggling to fly the TIE. I think it's called the TIE Avenger. That one, I think so. I'm not sure. Seeing him struggle to fly the TIE fighter, and then as soon as he finds out that comms are blocked on that planet, he just goes beast mode. He's honing in on stormtroopers, like he's just going ham. And I think that's also the episode that she's Mon Mothma's dancing at the wedding, but she talks to Luthen right before, and he says, "I think I have it right here in my notes." She says, "I need to find out the number," and he says, "I think you know the number," and she's like, "I'm not sure what you're saying," and he's like, "How nice for you." I'm like, oh my god, how nice for you, and then he's just killed off. We see, and in that moment, we also see Vel seeing Cinta again for the first time and realizing that's where she's been this whole time. She's been working for Luthen. She's been a hitman for Luthen. That's why I haven't seen her. That's why I can't communicate with her. And Mon Mothma knows that, but she knows that in order to push this rebel fight, she has to let that go. She has to let her childhood friend go and be assassinated. So she gets drunk at the wedding and is just dancing it all away. And that is cut up with Andor and holding Brasso while he's dying and getting everyone on the ship to go get away from that horrible scene where she just got almost got R-worded. And we combine that with Mon Mothma celebrating at a wedding or getting drunk out of her mind at a wedding to drown out what's going to happen to her childhood best friend. I thought that episode was fantastic. I think it should be held in the same sentence as episodes like 6 and 10 from season 1. And spoiler alert for my thoughts, episodes like 8 and 9 from this season, which I think are by far and away some of the best. Yes. So
insane.
Episode 3
Not insane.
and this Episode 3 and the 6 that followed that really got rid of all of my criticisms of the first 2 episodes. I jumped the gun, which is why I'm saying it here and I'm not playing the video, because if I played it, it'll look goofy in retrospect. But I've talked for 12 freaking minutes. What were your thoughts on the first 3 episodes and your thoughts on a lot of what I just said?
I see what you're saying about the rebel group and being so disjointed, but I don't know. I feel like that would have, like the comparison you're talking about with Yavin and seeing how disjointed it all is and how organized it becomes later. I don't know. I feel like that it would have worked better for me if Yavin was established in like the next batch of 3 episodes, but it's not established until this batch that we just got.
Which, to be fair, don't take my word as gospel, but the rebel Yavin being established as a rebel base might have been. It might have been already established while they were just a couple of feet away in the woods fighting. They just didn't know how to get there. They were just... So, I don't know. That's why, like, I don't know a ton. Like I said, I know very basic Star Wars stuff. But there might be a scenario where the rebels were already huddling up on Yavin. They just didn't. It just wasn't the time to strike, and they were still planning out. But
okay,
if that's the case, I think it's cool that there was a lot of rebel fighting here in the middle of the woods, and just yards away there are these two. There's this rebel base that is already established and has the right leadership. I don't know though, but continue.
And also, I don't know. It just their reason for conflict just rang so, like, I get it. They're a disjointed group, but I feel like there's other ways of showing that. They just seemed childish to me. Like, it was all very childish in their argument and their fights. It seemed so elementary. Like, I don't know. It took me out of it, truthfully. And I agree with you. Skipping to episode 3 now, I agree with you. Episode 3 is a really, really, really good episode. I just don't know. I might give you better than episode 6. Not that you're saying better. You say in the same conversation, but yeah. I would maybe say better than episode 6 from season 1. Because everything, all the elements you're talking about, but what kind of brings it down for me, I feel like Brasso's a nothing character. I've always kind of felt like that. He's just like, he's a great guy. He's a cool guy. He took care of Marva for a little bit while Cassian was gone. And he did right by Cassian and by Marva and whatnot. And he's a very helpful guy. But there's not like we dive anywhere into his psyche or into his life beyond helping Cass and helping Marva and helping B, which, by the way, did we just leave B on that planet? Is B gone? We just left B on the farm planet? All right, cool.
I don't remember seeing him in the ship with them. I don't remember.
I think because when they were hiding from the Empire on the farm planet, they were like, hey, he was like, B, you're gonna go stay with I think it was Brasso's girlfriend, because she's native, she was legal. And B was like, I don't want to go. And then it was she lives like right up the hill or something like that. And so I guess B just lives with her now. So that sucks for B.
Got a happy ending.
Yeah, I guess it's not a bad ending for him. I'm sure he misses Cassian or not. But anyway, I especially loved the Mon Mothma stuff and her just dancing and all, like, I don't know, it was sort of chilling in a way, like. It was really, really well done. And as for your thoughts on Vel, I know you said you've changed your thoughts on it because of the following episodes. It worked for me because I know that she was just like reaction shots like you're saying, and that's more season 1, I guess. but like she was a disjointed, or there's another word, disgruntled maybe, lover. Like she was lost, you know, like she was heartbroken. So like our scenes with her were very like short and very vindictive in a way, like very broken. And so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it for that aspect, and I understood it. Now, with that being said, when it comes to Cinta, and I'm gonna call him out here. It's not any bad blood towards him or anything. I love Brendan, and I'd love to have him on the podcast for Andor discussion and or discussion and or The Last of Us.
It's so stupid. That might be the top 5 like corniest things you've ever said.
But he tweeted, and I believe that this is talking about Cinta, and I'm jumping forward, I know, to episode 6. Yeah. He did not like how she died, and he thought that she deserved something better, or like a better send off in a way.
I have a lot of thoughts on that. Yeah,
and I honestly have to say that I disagree because, like, bro, we have not seen, like, we've gotten more of Vel than we have of Cinta, because Cinta's just been off doing, like, I know she's a badass rebel. I know that she's out there getting shit done. Like, when the work needs done, and if the work is dirty, Luthen calls her and she gets that shit done. And like, she did it for a long time without any questions asked. And then we see her like after a year or so, multiple years, has a change of heart and wants to like really, I don't know about settle down with Vel, but at least like really give Vel her time, you know? And of course, like that is ripped away from both of them at that time, which is tragic in that way. But I don't know. I didn't think it was like a disrespectful way to send Cinta off. Like, I feel like if anything, that's a commentary on how disorganized the rebellion really was at that moment in time. Is granted, it's not the rebellion in the grand sense, because that's just it was the Gorman, the Gore doing or one Gore doing Gorman doing a stupid thing. Like, he was not supposed to have a blaster, right? But I don't know. I think as far as what we've seen of Cinta, like, she was there for Aldhani, and then she watched Cassian's mother on Ferrix for a while, and then killed an ISB officer. And then we didn't see her again until she killed Tay, and then we didn't see her after that until she died. So I truthfully, I don't think that she needed this kind of bigger send-off. Just a light disagreement. Again, Brennan, love you. Love to have you on, but I just slightly disagree with you.
Yeah.
I do love Cinta as a character, though. Like, I do, and I love their relationship, her and Vel. I thought it was very authentic. It was very real, and the actresses played that out incredibly well. And it sucked for Vel, but I think it set Vel up, and the actress who plays Vel, for a fantastic monologue going off on that kid in episode 6. You have to live with this the rest of your life. Like, the rest of your worthless life. Like, dude, oh my God. Like, I was like, damn, Vel, chill. But like, I get it, you know, like, fuck.
Yeah.
The second she gets her back, bro, is ripped from her, from this fucking kid who didn't listen to what he was fucking told to do.
Yeah. Yeah. The only complaint I had was that it just, like, I don't know, this dude just starts charging him for no reason.
Yeah. And like, they're on the same side. Like, I didn't get that either. Like, what the fuck?
It was like kind of dumb. It was just kind of like, okay, we need to find a way to kill Cinta off without directly killing her. Like, just have this fight happen and her accidentally get shot. I was like, okay, this kind of feels cheap. That's why I was saying her death feels cheap because of that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that
that's fair.
That's the only.
That's fair.
Because I was like, this is odd.
I want to add also, like, that guy that was walking up and the kid who had the blaster and was trying to prevent him from walking up. That dude was like the most impassioned guy at the group that Cyril went to in terms of hating the Empire. Why the fuck are you trying to prevent him from walking up and seeing what you're doing? If anything, he'd probably jump in and start helping you. I don't like, why the fuck was that kid? Maybe that's speaking to how the kid was just an idiot and he was like on a power trip because, oh, I'm part of the rebellion and I'm getting shit done. But like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the problem looking at it that way, but I don't know. It just, I do think that it was kind of flimsy in that way. So I'll agree with you there. It just seemed weird to press in that way. But as for episode, I know I just skipped right to 5 and 6 to talk a little bit about, or not. I didn't skip to 5. Sorry, I just skipped to 6. But to talk about 4 and 5, cool stuff I thought with in the build up to the mission, like having Cassian go there as Varian Sky, sick ass name by the way.
God, he looks so sick too. He's just him, bro. He is such a good character, man. God, he's so good. He's so.
I can't believe you guys never yelled at me to watch Rogue One, bro. I actually kind of pissed you guys about that, but it's fun.
Actually, I'm fighting myself so bad to wait another week before I can rewatch Rogue One.
Rewatch it again.
I want to watch it again so bad, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah. And I thought they were very like this was a very character focused arc for both Cassian and Bix, especially, and really big payoffs for Bix in terms of I don't know, finally getting revenge on her abuser, as one could say. Dr. I forget his name. Gorst, that's his name. Yeah.
More like Dr. Worst, because he's the worst.
And he said that my Andor thing was bad.
I had to match your Andor.
Really great character stuff and relationship drama, especially between Cassian and Bix in this arc, and Cassian's overprotectiveness of her and trying to keep her from things that he shouldn't have. And oh my gosh, I mean, again, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I don't want to talk about it too much because I want to focus on that stuff when we get to it. But holy shit, man! And to see this stuff, and then to have what happens in episode 9, with what Bix does. Oh my gosh, man! Oh my gosh! But anyway, I thought this was really good stuff, and I loved kind of like seeing their life together in hiding on Coruscant. Never thought I'd see them staying on Coruscant. I didn't think that would be a thing, right in the belly of the beast. But super cool stuff. I had seen these episodes last week when we were talking about it. So to touch on my thoughts a little bit, like that I was mentioning last week about how the pieces were all there. And it was still really good stuff, and that I was enjoying a lot. But I specifically said that I don't think it reached the heights of episode 6 and episode 10 of. And I already retracted that statement already with episode 3 and having it being better than episode 6. But I also loved episode 9 of season 1, so and I don't know if it topped that for me. But anyway. I still stand by what I said last week about these episodes really building to something that is going to be great. And holy shit, was I correct in that? So with that being said, also, I know I keep saying with that being said, I want to give these episodes the flowers that they deserve, because you don't get the 3-episode arc that we just got this week without those episodes. And they were really well done. So as much as I was lukewarm on them, I want to give them their flowers for everything that they did as well. And I love this stuff with Will too. A little bit of a focus on the Will's specific.
Oh man, that scene with him and Saul Guerrero.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where he's like making him take his mask off and breathe it in. Saul is a very interesting character. I've always been really mixed on him because he's like very much the chaotic good of the Star Wars universe, where he'll do the most outlandish, wild shit for the sake of the rebellion. Let's say for the Republic. For the sake of the rebellion, Saul Guerrero is a very interesting character. I know you said you're interested in watching Rogue One. I very, very much think you should do the new trilogy that everyone's talking about, which is Andor, Rogue One, A New Hope. I think you should 1,000% watch A New Hope.
I was gonna do. I think I am gonna do the whole trilogy.
Yeah. You can use that to bleed into A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, the Return of the Jedi. I think you should 1,000%. Like, I think you should 1,000% do that, but A New Hope would be the big one to focus on.
Really?
There's just so much stuff in there that I'm like, I want to talk about so badly with you in terms of what happens here with Andor that I just can't because you haven't watched it.
That's interesting too, because I mean, I've seen A New Hope. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I always just looked at it. It's more of like a setup for Luke and Leia and everything like that, and not so much a focus on the rebellion.
In terms,
I guess they do take down the Death Star.
Well,
and everything.
it's the same thing as like Rogue One's a great movie. After this, when I watch it, it's gonna be heightened times 10, dude, because of everything that I'm seeing play out. And I think Andor highlighting Rogue One, and then all of those two together highlighting A New Hope, it puts A New Hope in a different light for me. Where there are things that happen in A New Hope where I'm like, damn, like for instance, and this isn't a spoiler. I mean, you know what happens with Alderaan and Darth Vader, but like even in Episode 9, or in Episode 8, I think maybe 9, where that dude is getting dragged away, the leader of the Gorman, or the guy that was going to all these Senate or these hearings, leading Gorman, whatever. I don't know the correct term. He's getting dragged away by these people, and he's like, "It's my people today. It's yours tomorrow." And the camera immediately cuts to Bail Organa, who, oh my god,
he's the senator
on
Alderaan. Yeah,
dude, my god, just things like that. Where then you watch A New Hope and you see that play out, and it's just like it's heightened that much more. Just knowing, like Mon Mothma standing up there and delivering that speech, really like kickstarting the rebellion. Like, oh my god, dude, it's so good. It is so good. Like thinking about it in the grand scheme of.
And I guess I haven't seen Rebels. I know you have, right?
Yeah, that's the other one I was gonna come and push my propaganda on. I think you would absolutely love Rebels. It is very kiddie. It is crafted for kids. It was mostly me. The animation is very tailored towards kids, but the character work in there, it is very impressive.
Oh, never mind. It just fixed itself. Your mic started to sound really weird, but it fixed itself now.
Weird. I think you'd love Rebels a lot. Rebels also it's not as like dark as Andor, but it's that same purpose. Like there's a line that someone says in Episode 9 where they say, Mon Mothma's being picked up by the Ghost Crew, where she's going to deliver another speech that Ghost Crew is the Rebels. In the Rebels, yeah. Just, I mean, minor spoiler, whatever. But
I saw the clip of the
speech. She delivers another speech with them in there, and I think that one is just as good. But Rebels is really good. There's a moment in there that like it is up there with one of my favorite Star Wars moments ever. It's a death scene. It is up there with one of my favorite death scenes ever. It is your shit, dude. It is your shit.
Is that using Ahsoka?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Ezra. It's Ezra, huh? It's Ezra.
Ezra's alive. Ezra's alive.
Oh wait, yeah, because he's in Ahsoka.
Yeah, he's in Ahsoka. Growing up.
But I've seen the death scene that
Ezra
you're talking about, though. I just don't know which character it is. I just don't know. Yeah.
Which, keep it that way. If you can keep it that way and you can watch Rebels, I think it just heightens your experience. Anyways, 4, 5, and 6. Without 4, 5, and 6, we don't get the Gorman massacre. We don't get the final push. It seems like to get Andor to fight hard for the rebel.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about Cyril. I want to say that as
well. And this is also this kickstart of Cyril's almost like turn, because he's put on Gorman, and I don't know. He's such a fascinating character. I can't get that freaking like facial. I can't get that reaction shot from him out of my head where he's sitting, seeing everything going on. But we'll get there. But this is like the jump start to that, where he's placed on Gorman. He's placed on this mission. He is oh my God, he is a pawn for the Empire, and he doesn't even know it. He's given his life to the Empire, and he doesn't even know that he's just being played and puppeteered this entire time. And he thinks it's for something different. and it ends up not being. And this is the beginning of that. These are the seeds that are planted. That heist, the little mini heist moment that we got with Clea trying to get that device off of that painting while Krennic is standing right there.
That was
My
good too.
God, was that like just tense. I love the little line where they're both walking away and Luthen's like, I keep spitting everywhere. If you can see it on audio,
We
I
should have
apologize.
just killed.
We should have just killed Krennic while we were in there, and she just laughs it off. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is great. And then of course, what was it? Varian Sky, sick.
Yeah.
What an absolute alpha male Cassian Andor is.
And I love to see the differentiation between Cassian and Luthen and like the way that they look at the rebellion and how what success looks like in the rebellion. And
Yeah.
I'd say Cassian approaches it from a more human standpoint, and Luthen's just like the ends justify the means. So if Gorman's gonna burn, it's gonna burn bright as hell, and it's gonna help our fucking cause.
Yeah, I absolutely love, like, dude, Luthen is like, he's such an amazing mastermind. Like that trope. I don't know if you've ever watched the oh my gosh, what is it? The House on Netflix. It's a big heist TV show.
Oh no,
No, it's the first two seasons are like top tier, but the rest of the show kind of just falls off. I forget what it's called. Oh my gosh. Anyways, there's the guy who he kind of has everything planned out for the heist. So whenever you think they're running into a wall, it cuts away and he's like, all right, so whenever this happens, this is how we're going to navigate it. And then it just like always flips you on the top of your head.
Okay.
That trope, I think Luthen is my absolute favorite of that so far. I love his speech, and I think it's in season 1. His little monologue to Lonnie. We didn't talk about it. Where Lonnie says, "What have you sacrificed?" And he just goes in. If it weren't this long, I would read it. I have it pulled up here. It's just way too long to read. But oh my God, everybody! If you're watching this, Charlie, everybody should go back and watch that scene. It is absolutely amazing, dude. And I'll say the last end of it, but when he says, I burned my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. And the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything. You'll stay with me, Lonnie. I need all the heroes I can get. And like everything he says before that of just like what he's sacrificing. But that line of, I burned my decency for someone else's future. I burned my life to see a sunrise, or for a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Just keep that in your mind. Keep that thought in your mind.
I burned my decency for someone else's future. That one's a banger.
I think everybody should go back and rewatch that scene. But yes, Luthen in here, he's great, man. He's an absolute gem to this show. An absolute amazing addition.
Stellan Skarsgård.
What a man, dude. What a man. The Emperor in Dune. I mean, what can't he do? But yes, again, I love all the Cinta and Vel stuff. This is the stuff that I was waiting for. These were the moments that I was yearning for earlier in the season and late at the end of last season that we didn't get. Also, is it just me, or do you ever just like look at this show and think like, how was this made? Where are you shooting? How much was it? Because there are so many moments like Luthen and Clea walking away from the art exhibit, or even Mon Mothma. That whole shot, that's a one shot at her estate in the first episode. It is a one shot. Where are you filming? How much are these sets? Because it just like blows my mind watching this show. It is so high quality that it's insane.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually something that never even crossed my mind.
On these next couple episodes, just like keep an eye out for it. Even just the scenes of like Cyril and his mom sitting and talking. That room, how do you like? I don't know, the attention to detail on most of those scenes. It's like you're not standing in front of a blue screen, in front of a green screen. Like you're on these sets.
Yeah,
it's so impressive.
Yeah, bro. The next batch of 3 episodes, I'll be sure to pay attention when Cyril and his mom are talking.
Oh yeah, definitely talking from chilling with Jesus. That's what they'll be talking. I guess we can get into those 3. Good God, I want to start off with Cyril. That's the one, and we can just talk about these topics in the grand scheme of the 3 episodes. We don't have to go episode by episode, because quite frankly, I don't want to. I have too much to say to just like hold ourselves back on that. First one, I have all of these saved here that I've just been like collecting these past couple of days because I've been so excited to talk about these. First off, I'll just start by saying episodes 8 and 9. I think episode 9 is probably my favorite in the entire show.
Best Star Wars shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, are you serious? You too?
Has to be, bro. Yes. 100%.
Oh my god! I thought whenever you said earlier, whenever you made that face, I thought it was because none of these lined up to.
Oh no! Because you were trying to compare episode 3 to these episodes. That's why I was like,
I mean, yeah. I would say like episode 3 and then episode 8 and 9 are like
yeah, bro.
In terms of in terms of the best, there's a big gap. Literally some of the best fucking TV this year, dude. Yeah. My God, were these episodes fantastic?
I'm crying, bro. I'm out there crying, man.
Dude, when during Mon Mothma's speech, I was crying. I teared up. I was like, "Oh my God, bro! This is cinema, bro. This is peak television that I've been talking about, bro. That I've been wanting." I'll start off.
This is what I've been wanting from Star Wars, bro. I could not be happier to say that I'm like a fan.
This is the best Star Wars in the past 20 years, hands down,
bro. Fuck
hands down. And that's only because Revenge.
That's only because Revenge of the Sith just had its 20 hours.
You know what? I'd even go as far as saying in the past 21 years. All right, I'll even go as far as saying that. This is that shit, man. The one I want to start off with, which I love this detail, and again, this isn't a spoiler for Rogue One or A New Hope, even though it's not gonna. I say it might sound like it. I'm just over exaggerating. The bellboy for the hotel that Cassian runs into in the second 3 episode arc. He comes back and he runs into him again and he recognizes him, and he drops the line to Andor where he says, "Rebellions are built on hope."
On hope.
So in Rogue One, Cassian says that to Jyn Erso. He says rebellions are built on hope. Jyn Erso then says that to a group of people in this setting. And then in A New Hope, I believe that same sentiment is also repeated. Rebellions are built on hope. It opens where Leia grabs a message and they said, "What do you have?" And she says, "I have hope, a new hope." Rebellions are built on hope. And the crazy shit is, bro, and this is, oh my God, the writing of this show. It's a doorman in a hotel that plants that seed in Cassian's head, dude. The same doorman that had to watch 2 massacres on Gorman and probably didn't survive this one. It's the little man. It is the little man, bro. And that is one of my favorite details in this entire show. And like this tweet put it perfectly. The man who was witness to both Gorman massacres and then ultimately dying for the cause, being the one to originate this saying, is actually so beautiful. And it goes back to even those 2 people that lock that guy out of the door so Mon Mothma can finish her speech. It's the little ones. It's the little wins that build upon this revolution or this rebellion. And I think I also had that. I didn't have that tweet saved, but the point still stands. It's those little wins in the grand scheme of all. And I love that Tony Gilroy highlights this. It's not just this one. It's not a Skywalker. It's not this group of like Leia and Luke leading the rebels. It's these little people. Like it's this guy on this doorman on Gorman. It's these 2 characters that are unnamed, we've never seen ever before, that lock this guy out of the control room to shut down Mon Mothma. It's these people that ultimately push the cause above and beyond. God damn, man, I fucking love that. This shit is amazing. It's perfect, dude.
See, and to relate that to, real quick, I don't want to transition. We're not transitioning to The Last of Us or anything, but just to relate that to that, like, it's like the Abby situation. Like in the first game, you kill that doctor and like you don't think anything of it. You don't think of like the family that person has related to, like, that cares about them, And how insignificant you look at like certain people and certain things depending on your lens of it at that one point in which you're experiencing it or watching it or playing it, interacting with it. And I feel like that's like the indicator, and that's like how you can tell if you can have that empathy for other people. But I'm just likening that to the fact that the person who comes up with that phrase, if that angers somebody, a Star Wars fan, if that angers you, like I just feel like you're so lost. Like that should be an exciting aspect, that it wasn't something that Leia just thought of in the moment, but it was something that was carried on through the little people that were at the front lines of the rebellion, essentially. Like that.
Yeah,
that's
no,
where it
exactly.
should come from. It shouldn't come like, I don't think that, like, sure, Leia had her planet blow up and everything like that, but I don't know. It hits so much more thinking of it like that. So
Yeah,
I'm in agreement. That's fire.
I absolutely can't wait for you to watch Rogue One and A New Hope. It's gonna be a treat. I think you'll like a lot of it. I can't wait to rewatch Rogue One. Also, I mean that's it's just great. And building on the topic of like the small details, I saw another tweet that pointed out that the domino effect of the ISB plant on Bale's team reporting to Lonnie supplying Luthen with that intel, Luthen warning Mon Mothma about it, and then Mon Mothma evading capture because of it. Oh my God, man! What are we doing? What are we doing? That's peak writing, dude. Peak writing, all because of Lonnie. Lonnie is the like sleeper of this show.
Yeah, 100%.
This man is the most important aspect to the rebellion.
That's also how the Gorst intel, the Dr. Gorst intel got to Luthen, and then Luthen was able to give that to Bix and Cassian. So fire stuff. Fire shit.
God, and I think again, going back to that conversation with him and Luthen, where he's like, "What do you have to sacrifice? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not amounting to anything." And then Luthen spilling all of that on him. At
the same time, I love Lonnie, but also he was a bitch in episode 6, bro. I'm moving out of the way. I'm leaving. Lonnie, get your fucking shit together and lock in.
Yeah, bro. Like, this is a rebellion, bro. Like y'all have an idea how important every single step of this is. And then obviously the Cyril of it all.
I like how we said we were going to start with Cyril. Just now getting to
I did? Did I say that?
Yeah. You said, I want to start with Cyril.
I did, right. I saw the tweet of the hotel guy, and I was like, no, this is a way better point. Yeah, Cyril and Cassian, take us away.
Bro, that... I saw, and I can't take credit for this because I did see this part in an interview with Tony Gilroy, but I mean, it is put so succinctly and so wonderfully. Like, I kind of forgot like how important Andor was to him originally, how important Cassian was to him, and until I saw the shot of like when Cyril is walking into the plaza and Cassian's already there and Cyril walks right behind him and the camera just pans up, like, dude, I was like, oh shit,
What a moment.
They're finally in the same place. Like, this has to amount to something. And then right as Cassian is about to shoot Dedra, and he doesn't even, Cyril doesn't even know it. And even if he did, he's on fuck Dedra mode right now. But still, he's like, he's locked in his entire life. Like, all he's ever wanted to do was like, it was about justice for him and serving justice properly, and what his ideals of justice were now with the Empire being in charge and everything like that. And he thought he was serving justice the entire time. He thought he was doing right by the law. And the entire time the Empire was maneuvering certain things and to set up a genocide. Like, but yeah. And so when he comes to that realization and the part that he played in that, and how he's already fucking devastated. And this part is, I'm adding this, and I haven't even gotten to the part of what Tony Gilroy said. But I'm adding this part to it where, like, he's so distraught and he's lost after realizing what he's done and the part he's played in and how he was betrayed essentially by Dedra, and looking over and seeing the man that kind of set him on this path in a way. Like, he's always been about justice and he's always wanted to measure up because, like, his mother never thought he did. His mother critiqued anything that he ever did throughout his life. And he's always just wanted to amount to something and be congratulated in a way. And so the person that he's been chasing down, trying to chase that feeling, that ultimate feeling that he's gotten everybody else on, is right in front of him. And he fucking acts on that shit. I have a couple of critiques about the actual thing itself. I think 100% Andor, like, it was a scrappy fight to begin with. I get him running in and tackling him and whatnot, but I think Andor should, like, Cassian should have more fighting skills than Cyril should. But I mean, it's fine. That's a whatever point. But in the interview with Tony Gilroy, he said that, like, to see where to look at everything that's happened in his life and how long he's just been, he compared it to Greek mythology, or Greek stories, I should say, to look at something you've devoted your entire life to, like this person, this idea, and you've hunted down for so long, and you have him right in your sight, and you have him right where you want him, only for him to not even know who you are. Literally ask, like, who are you? And he has that moment of, like, holy shit, my life has been devoted to this, and he doesn't even know I fucking exist. And so he freezes for a moment, and then he's fucking dead. Like, dude, Sarah, that part got me swelling up, bro. That part combined with I can't remember the name of the actress we talked about before we started recording. Denise for Dedra. Denise Gal. Thank you, dude. Her performance afterwards in the call room with her hands shaking was fucking fantastic too, bro. I was swelling up. Tears were swelling up, bro. That shit was so fire. Obviously, it's still fuck Cyril, but, like, I understand. Like, I get it, dude. Fuck, man.
Well, and I saw this tweet earlier that had put, I know I'm just being the tweet guy today, but gosh, man, I've just been like, when you see someone put something into words so beautifully that you have been thinking of but can't get out, it's just like something there. This person had tweeted, they said, I can't stop thinking about Cyril's demise. He was on the cusp of rebellion, how his blind allegiance to the women he loved prevented him from seeing the truth, the fate that he had condemned the Gorman to, and then he saw Cassian Andor. All that went out the window. And then he saw Cassian Andor, and he has him dead to rights. And like you said, he says, who are you? Yeah. So that didn't even matter either. One of my favorite thing is I threw into my notes. This was the moment. I wasn't taking notes at all. I was just locked in on the show. This was the moment I started taking notes. My first note says Cyril and Andor passing each other and not realizing was insane. Even we're thinking like that. Doesn't even matter. Yeah. That does not even matter. Yeah. To Andor, it's the same thing. Just walking past a person.
Yeah, it's just a dude.
To us and to Cyril, and Cyril looking out of a third-person view of all that, it's mind-blowing. It's insane. Oh my gosh. No, they're right here. They're right next to each other. This is crazy. He's going to take out Dedra, who is in love with Cyril, whatever. They have this fling going on. All for it to end with, who are you? He doesn't even know he exists. Oh my God, is that not peak storytelling, man? That is insane. That moment was insane. It had my jaw dropped, dude. And I've seen tweets all day of, like, the picture of Cyril holding the gun up at Andor with dirt all over his face, and I'll pull it up now for the visual listeners. People have posted this photo everywhere. I've seen it combined with, like, the more goofy Star Wars characters and, like, some of the kids shows that are canon of Star Wars characters, and people saying the fact that all four of these characters are in the same universe is insane. And them just posting this picture to, like, it's worth 1,000 words. This moment, this picture, it's like, oh my gosh, dude. It's
so fire.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a horrifying moment. I don't know if this was a part of the show, but I think it is. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. And it's a picture of Dr. Gorst and Bix, and then it's a picture of Andor and Cyril. In terms
And
of
Gorst is like the axe because
the
he doesn't
axe
remember who Bix is. Yeah.
being Gorst and Andor, and the tree being Bix and Cyril. And I love that it's kind of flipped, the good guy and the bad guy for both of
Yeah.
them.
No, yeah. Because, Gorst is
It's
a piece of shit and Cassian isn't, right? And then
yeah.
Bix and Cyril, yeah. No, that's,
Peak
I've never
storytelling,
heard that before.
man.
I like that, bro. The axe forgets, the tree remembers. I like that.
I feel like, was that not in the show? I thought that was in the
Maybe
show.
they
'Cause I
did.
feel like
Maybe
I've
I might
heard
have.
that
I might have
before.
zoned out.
I'm not sure. Um, and then real quick, just I liked, this is Kyle. Oh my gosh, Kyle Soller, the actor that plays Cyril. This was his thoughts and his words on everything that happens in Andor season 2. So much had been taken away from him within the last 10 minutes of his life. All these revelations and betrayals coming to light, the veil being lifted from all the truths that he held to be right about the Empire, and the choices in his life completely crumbling. Instead of having a redemption story, and then this is the person talking about it. Instead of having a redemption story, I think it was much stronger and much more real to life. For all of Cyril's vanity, romanticism, and delusions of grandeur about himself, he is just another cog in the wheel. He's just another casualty of war.
Jeez Louise,
Beautifully
bro.
said. It's
100%,
tragic.
like,
it's horrible, but yeah.
Dude, and having the Cassian, like, when I also say that, like, I forget that how important Cassian even was to Cyril because I was so invested in the Cyril stuff and what he was doing already. That even if, like, it didn't happen, I would have been bummed out after I had remembered. But, like, dude, there was, like, the episode itself and everything that was going on was still so astronomically fantastic that I don't think that would have ruined the episode or anything if that moment hadn't happened. But it's elevated because it's there. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
banger stuff. Now I'm so excited to see where Dedra goes in the next arc, man. What happens with her?
Bro, like, everybody's fair game in terms of death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody is fair game. Like, who knows where we go after this? Yeah, I mean, all the Cyril stuff, it's heartbreaking. It's tragic, but at the same time, he's like not a good character. He's trash, but it's like, man, you understand, you see, you feel, and it's just great writing. It's a testament to how good the writing is. And then another detail is how Andor and Cyril, one thing they have in common is that they both were used to create the Star Destroyer. Like, in a way, they were both used to create not the Star Destroyer. Oh my god, Death Star. Why am I blanking?
I mean, technically, it's just, well, I guess it doesn't destroy stars, but.
Well, I think a Star Destroyer is like an actual ship in Star Wars.
Is that the Death Star 2.0? Is that one?
No, it's the one that's like a triangle.
Oh, really? They call that a Star Destroyer.
That's a Star Destroyer. Imperial Star Destroyer. Anyways, Andor built all of those things for the Death Star in the prison, and then Cyril helped them get to Gorman and get
mine
Calcite.
The material, that they need.
It's man, what a freaking show, dude.
Damn. So then they're gonna finish the Death Star within the next year or so, right? Because do they finish it in Rogue One? Not that I want. If it's too spoilery, then don't tell me. But
well, I feel like no matter what I say, we'll kind of let you know. The Battle of Yavin involves the Death Star. That's what I'll say. I think.
Okay.
I honestly, yeah. What am I saying? Yeah. Like I said, I have very basic Star Wars knowledge, but oh yeah. What am I talking about? Of course. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Only thing I've seen of Rogue One is the Darth Vader scene at the end. So that's all I've seen.
Man. See, and I think that's a perfect use of like here, just throw this in there. But like that's like not even the biggest moment. Like, fuck all that, dude. Like, take that away. It changes nothing for the story. It's just a cool Star Wars moment that Disney probably was like, hey, let's market Vader off this somehow, or let's market something, throw a Skywalker in there, whatever. Yes, the Battle of Yavin involves the Death Star in a huge way, so that should tell you. That's why, like, leading up to the Battle of Yavin is like kind of gives you a scope of like where everything's at. But yeah, to answer your question, yes.
The distance between what is said and what is known to be true
has become an
abyss. Has become an abyss.
Boy, am I glad you said that.
Orange guy in the back.
Oh my God, I had that thing ready.
Hey, bro, and they're mad. They're mad that there's politics in their Star Wars shit, even though there always is. So, fuck,
Mon
dude.
Mothma, the woman you are, dude. I think one of the best moments too is after all that, she walks out and Cassian's there like, Senator, like, oh my God, yes, of course he's there to pick her up. Oh my God.
That was such a good dude. The espionage of all of that was so damn good too. Like even the ISB, I guess she's not ISB, but she was working for the ISB. How she killed one of Bale's guys and then walked up to the other guy and she's like, what's his name? And then the other guy's like, he was with you. And she's like, he told me to meet you here. Like, dude, that was so damn good.
Jeez.
All of that. And then she's just like, oh, fuck this. And then she's just like, this is an ISB sanctioned arrest. And then Cassian blasts her ass up. Dude, I don't know, bro.
Well, and then Eskrin just stepping in and being like, she's a rebel spy, and then she turns, and as soon as she turns, Cassian's like, boom,
yeah,
bro. For him to just be so like well trained and on top of all of that, to see that the moment she turns away, I have to capitalize. I don't care who sees. I don't care what. I need to get her out of here, and I'm going to do that by any means necessary.
And that was so tense too, because like I at that point I didn't know about the rebels speech, so like I didn't know if Mon makes it out or not. Like I didn't know if she gets captured by the Empire or not. So I was like, it was a tense scene for me watching Cassian. Like I knew Cassian had to survive, so I'm sure because like he's gonna be in Rogue One, but I didn't know if like maybe he gets ripped away from Mon or whatever. And I feel like this part was like it wasn't necessary, but I loved, like, again, it's like the panic nature of it all. They're walking towards her driver, and she's like, "Can we trust him?" And she's like, "No, he's an ISB. He's an ISB informant." And then he's like, "What's his name? What's his name?" And she's like, "Cleric," or whatever the hell his name is. And he says, "Cleric, I got her. We found her." And then he fucking blasts him right away, like. I didn't think that part was necessary, but like I feel like you could have just blasted him, but it was good. It was cool.
Yeah. Her face too, after like just her being so like distraught, like, oh my God. And he's like, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. Come on. Like there's no time to stop and like, revel over these people that I'm just shooting right in front of you. We have to keep going. Yeah, dude, I thought that entire scene, just her making that speech, her standing up, dude, this is an unprovoked genocide after everything on the news is saying, oh, dude, and I love the way that they set it up as they attacked first. So the Empire, like outside agitators started all of this. It's like, my God, man, Disney approved this? Are you serious? Disney allowed all of this? Like, hey, I'm all for it. Like her just even saying those words and the significance of all of this. I mean, this is God damn, man. It is incredible that this show was being presented to us right now.
It's fantastic stuff, bro. And then I gotta transition to the Bix and Cass of it all.
Oh man,
it's set up really well
right there,
dude. I was crying.
1,000%, yeah.
It was set up really well with the Force healer in episode 7. Cass didn't want to see her, but then they're yards away from the Force healer, and she comes over, stops healing this other dude because she just feels a disturbance in the Force or whatever, and has this conversation, and she can tell that Cass is important and needed for something, and maybe it's even for the line of rebellions are built on hope. Maybe because like he passes that along, and then like that becomes like the, I don't know 100%, but whatever. I'm sure he does something cool in Rogue One that I don't know about, like die. But
Dude, who told you that he dies? Like that's me or Ben didn't tell you that.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I mean, that's even just a blasphemous thing to even
He
say.
doesn't. You're
I'm
trying
not,
to throw me off.
No. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna confirm or
This
deny
boy's
either
trying to
way.
throw
But
me
I was
off.
just like, you were like, I think you or Ben told me. I was re-listening to the episode.
I think it was Ben. I think it was Ben. I think it was Ben. Like I before I had started watching the show, I think when we were talking about how Andor season 2 is going to start, I think he said it relatively. He might have said it on an episode. I might have to go back and watch it and find it. I'm pretty sure Ben said it.
If you've watched Rogue One, I don't see why you would ever say Andor dies.
Okay. Hey. I'd love to be wrong, because if he does die, it makes what we're about to talk about so much more fucking sad. So much more fucking sad.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
But the biggest part of it all, like I'm sure that's where she starts getting like the inclinations of both Cass's feelings and her feelings as to what she's going to end up doing in episode 9. And dude, I mean, you could tell she was distant from like the moment he got home when they started talking, and like you knew something was up. But dude, like the speech that she gives in the video, like, oh my, I can't be the reason that you give this up. You're important to this. I know you are. And it's not like this breakup speech, like where she needs to go off and like and find herself or whatever. Like she's doing it because like it's for the good of the galaxy and for the good of like the rebellion. Like this needs to happen. And yeah, dude, just watching Cass running to the flight deck to see if her ship is there or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, man. And then how he shrugs it off. He's like, all right, I guess I'm fucking back to work. And they turn on K2SO or whatever the fuck that stupid ass robot's name is. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, well, he is a huge part of Rogue One. He is that guy. He is he is the Bix of Rogue One. Like that is in terms of like relation to Cassian. If I can remember correctly, that is like Cassian's guy. So I think it's really cool that he loses Bix and then gains KS2O, and that's not like a huge spoiler or nothing.
I've seen K2SO,
K2SO, whatever his name is. Yeah,
I've seen that that bot before, the bot, what droid. I've seen that droid before in like the marketing build up to Rogue One.
Yeah,
and it looks like I saw a thing on Twitter today. Somebody compiled all the scenes in Andor Andor trailers for season 2 that we haven't seen yet, and there's a good bit of K2SO in there. So he's going to get some use in this last 3 episode arc. So I'm excited for that as well. Yeah. But dude, oh my, like I don't know, it was so damn good. Like I always, for some reason, I'm a sucker for shit through like a screen, like a relationship altering stuff through that's told through a video or something. Like I think to like the Flash TV show, which I don't know how much of that you watched, but like in season 3, Iris makes a video because they all think she's gonna die. She's gonna get killed by the villain of the season, and she makes a video saying, because Barry had asked her to marry her, and she gives her video of like accepting the marriage and like saying I do and giving the vows and whatnot. And it's like, dude, that shit hits. But anyway, we're not talking about the Flash.
Or Iron Man seeing Bucky kill his parents on video. Like, dude, that's the first thing I think of.
It's fire shit, bro. Stuff told through a video. Oh my god. But oh my gosh, man. This like it was an all-timer, bro. This 3 episode arc, bro. It's phenomenal stuff, bro.
Yeah, phenomenal. I think 9 is hands down my favorite episode of the entire show. Ben was right in predicting that it'd be a back half heavy show. That's the other thing I was going to talk about. I took down my Twitter, but I had a tweet saved because somebody had asked. They said, has anybody like seen any reviews, any Andor reviews talk about how much they enjoyed the final arc versus the rest of the season? Like, is this what should we expect from these last 3? Should we expect them to be as good or not that great? And then somebody, I don't know how reliable this is just a random account that replied and said They said the final 12 minutes of episode 12 you will think about for years and change how you think about Star Wars and what it means to be a fan of the show. It's incredible.
Hey, bro, don't start overhyping
And
me.
that's what I'm saying. And that's the other thing. Like granted, I haven't paid much attention to the buildup of this show, but um, you know, these it's hard to top. I think it's hard to top these, and it's the same as like season 1. It's like you get that episode 9 and 10, and you're like, all right, man, how do you top this? And then you really don't. Like, you still get an amazing finale, and a really good and a really inspiring finale. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, this other guy says, to be honest, no, all the reviews I've read have the third arc as the absolute best. I've heard mixed things about the final arc. Some say it's good, some say it's harmed by its closeness to Rogue One, so I'm nervous. I don't know. But people are saying they've heard nothing but great things about back half, so I don't know. We're just kind of completely blind going into this.
Harmed by its closeness. That's interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how reliable some of these people are. Like this guy says 7 through 9 are my favorite. 9 is my favorite episode of the series. 10 through 12 are also great. It's just under 7 through 9 for me. But like, does this dude have access to did he well, Brendan follows him, so probably, honestly. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he probably did see the whole show. Anyways,
Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat either way. Yeah.
Yeah. What an absolutely fantastic show. Now, I know that we haven't gotten the last 3, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I am. Ben would probably be mad that I'm not bringing this up while he's on the pod, but obviously we're going to do it next week when we finish watching these episodes. In terms of Severance versus this, Severance season 2 versus Andor season 2. What are you thinking right now before Andor ends?
Probably Severance. Because, like, listen, I don't know, man. Like, almost every episode of Severance was so phenomenal. And every episode of Andor is really, really, really good. But then, at the same time, like, the Cobell episode really wasn't that good for me. And I don't think there's an episode like that in this season of Andor. There's no episode that's like really not good for me. Oof. I think I was more invested in Severance. I think I have to say Severance.
Yeah. The week to week of like Severance, and then just like getting to that finale. Severance is just built different, but like it's not easy. It is not easy because Andor season 2 has been like mind-blowingly good, especially this past arc. Some would argue only this past arc, but I looked at the episodes like 3 that I think are in the same tier as 6 and 10 of last season, and then a little bit quite a ways below 8 and 9 of this season. Just figured I'd ask. We're gonna wait until we get the full episode or the full season, and then we'll go rank our TV shows so far. But
yeah,
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that we thought it'd be done with Severance season 2, and we're in May already, almost halfway through, and it's like, here we go. We're still going. The train is still moving. Like, man, we have had an insane year when it comes to TV shows. Invincible, Severance, and this among the top. And we've gotten to cover all of them week to week. It's absolutely insane. Semi week to week.
Yeah, including another fantastic one called The Last of Us.
Yeah, which brings us to our next bit. That was our coverage of Andor. Please, everybody, drop comments of what you've thought of the season. Even if you want to crap talk it, even if you just want to say that you miss Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker, go ahead and just drop that for us.
Let us know what kind of fan you are.
That would let us know what kind of fan they are. That has been our Andor talk. Look forward to our episode next week with Ben back. We'll get all his thoughts on this, and we'll get the whole season review in retrospect. Absolutely phenomenal show. I wish we could just talk about it again for the next 30 minutes, but we have to talk about The Last of Us season 2. Still trudging along. We didn't talk last week about episode 3. I said a little bit of my thoughts. Ben said that it's a lot of just the same for what he's feeling in terms of the loss of Joel. Real quick, just to get like our quick episode, our quick thoughts out of the way, so we could focus on episode 4. I do think this was the weaker one of the season, probably one of the weaker episodes of the entire show for me. A lot of time spent on Jackson and spent on, should we go out for Joel? Should we not? What does everybody think? What does Tommy think? Where I love how in the game, Tommy's just already halfway to Seattle. He's halfway to getting vengeance for Joel. This time around, not so much. Not at all. But he does not care about his brother just being killed in vain. And just is just chilling at Jackson, chopping wood and talking to single moms, widows in the ballpark. I think there was a lot of focus on that. His little conversation with the therapist. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to say he's trying to cheat on Maria. I was like, what the fuck?
No, it's just the fact that they spent time on that conversation when they could have spent time doing literally anything else with him in regards of wanting to go get Joel or not wanting to go get Joel.
See, I not to cut off your thoughts, but like,
no, go for it.
The fact that they even included that scene for me, it gives credence to the idea of like why he should be leaving before Ellie more. Because that whole conversation is about how he's worried about Ellie and like he doesn't want her to do the same things that Joel would do in this situation, or just do something dangerous. Not the same things that Joel would do, excuse me, because he is very adamant about the fact that Joel would kind of revert into a hollow shell of himself with sadness after that kind of loss. And the therapist reiterates it to Tommy that, like, I know that you inherited this girl and you really want to keep her safe and whatnot, but sometimes people are on a path and like you just have to let them be on that path or something like that. But like, dude, if he cares about Ellie and he doesn't want her to do these dangerous things, that's why he, in his admittedly stupid mind, it'd be a stupid idea, but it would line up with like where he was in the game. And not again, but I'm not trying to be one of these game is so much better people, even though so far it is. But dude, Tommy at that moment should have already, after that conversation with the therapist, leave. Tell Ellie, you don't need to go, I'm going. Like, leave a note, say, you don't need to go, I'm going. I don't want you to go, it's dangerous. I'm going. And therefore, and then we can be in the same situation as part 2. And I'm also not one of those people that say I don't need it to be the same as the game. I don't need it to be. But I even made a video defending how this could still work when Tommy was not in there not there when Joel died. I made a video defending how it can still work. And so far, even going into episode 4, a little bit of spoiler thoughts on episode 4, like there's no sign of him, no sign of that happening. So like, what are we doing? Well, maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit. There's still 3 more episodes to find out if he's going to be there. But it's just like, holy shit, dude. I don't know. I don't think that we can wait that much longer for this to just end up being a speaking of hollow shells, a hollow shell of the story of the game that just does not land as well. And I already, after episode 4, which I'll get into my thoughts on specific things that I'm talking about when I say this. Speaking of which, like there's already, I feel like that after episode 4 in a lot of ways. So like to have that amplified by the fact that Tommy might not be, like, it's just, yeah. But sorry, I interrupted your your thoughts on episode 3.
Those were my thoughts. We spent half the episode debating why or why not we should go out and avenge your father figure, avenge your brother, avenge the person that gave so much to this town, the brother of the fucking founders of this town, essentially. And we spend half the episode debating on should we go out and get revenge or not. I'm sorry, what the fuck was the whole second game built upon? Getting revenge, right? The cycle of revenge. Yeah. So then why are we spending half the episode deciding whether or not we should go and do this? And then we spend the back half of it, just walking through the woods with Ellie and Dina, and then we see Seattle. It wasn't a good episode. It did not hit for
some
me.
Good moments. In Joel's house thing and Joel's grave. I thought that was a good moment too.
That was shot beautifully. It had its moments of like what I would have expected of a episode 3 right after Joel died. But sadly, that's all they were. Were just little flashes and moments, and the whole episode just isn't really living up to an adaptation as much as I would like it to. It doesn't have to be one-to-one. We don't have to pull no How to Train Your Dragon shit here. But man, like the Tommy stuff really bothers me, and some of the Ellie stuff in the next episode is kind of getting to me too.
Yeah.
Which we can go ahead and get into the next episode if you.
Real quick, just about episode 3. Like, truthfully, for me, I didn't even have too much of a problem with the convening with the town. I thought that all worked rather well. I don't know if I liked, and I listened to the podcast, the companion podcast after every episode. And the way that they explained how Ellie was delivering that speech, how she was supposed to be, how Bella was supposed to be delivering it, was like, read it as if it's sincere, but like it's not really. And I didn't get that from that. Like, as she was when I was watching it, as Bella was reading it, I just found it sounded completely and entirely sincere. Like, I didn't hear a hint of, I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. Like, I'm just reading this to you to appease you. Like, I didn't get that at all. Maybe I'm stupid, but it just, I don't know. The whole time I was listening to it, I was like, this isn't something that Ellie would believe. Like, and again, with the podcast, they say that she didn't, which is good. That's fine. That's great. I'm glad that that's not the case, but I don't know. It didn't, in watching it, it didn't ring that way. And I also I don't care for the idea of, the guy who was a bigot to Ellie and Dina is now he's on their side. He's supporting their cause. And like, okay, I mean, it didn't feel
really
anything
forced.
Yeah, like, it's not. I get that this guy's a piece of shit, and I just don't know why it had to be that like. I don't know. It seems dumb. Like, it could have been Tommy. It could have easily just been Tommy, but then at the same time we run into the same problem that we're having right now with Tommy not being there. So I don't know. Whatever. Enough of episode 3. I actually have a specific thing of episode 3 though that I'm gonna touch on when we get to episode 4, and it's the stuff in the tent and what Dina says to Ellie about you're gay, I'm not, and so that kind of thing.
Which is
just
like,
keep that in mind going into
my Dina is gay. My Dina is 1,000% gay and is not afraid to admit it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And see that, dude, it annoys me so much. I can't wait to touch on it. But
also, two things. I was just looking at audience reviews for The Last of Us on Rotten Tomatoes. One of these is rated 0.5 out of 5 stars. Season 2 is absolutely terrible. Season 1 is good though. Oh my gosh, dude, these are hilarious. Absolute garbage. Don't waste time. 0.5 out of 5 stars. WTF? Loved the first season. Now in just 2 episodes, they just dropped off a cliff. Total waste of the 100 mil they spent to produce this trash. Now they plan to spend another 100 mil on a 3rd season, and I don't even want to click full review. 0.5 out of 5 stars. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, like gosh,
Wild
it's
as hell.
When the season's over, I would not be surprised if it was like 35, 36%. Anyways, and then the other thing is, I saw somebody bring this up on Twitter of how they have kind of appealed to menified, if I could say that, Dina, where she's wearing tighter clothes than she does in the game.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Yeah. Where they granted they picked just a moment out of the game where she's wearing a coat and a sweater and baggy pants or whatever, and then a still of this last episode of Dina with her, or Isabella Merced with her shirt up a little bit, and you can see like her stomach. And they said that they obviously picking Isabella Merced, who is appealing to look at. In terms of for Dina, I didn't know how to put it because I'm like, how do I like? I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, she's hot, she's attractive. It's just like, okay, they picked this person that is more attractive than Game Dina. Like, I don't know how to say it. Isabella Merced to play Dina and they said to appeal to the men, but like, I don't know, just the conversation of like kind of dolling her up more, and it adds to the whole "you're gay, I'm not." Like, I don't know if that's like deliberate.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this. I never took it that way. I never, even the "you're gay, I'm not" thing, I never took it that way. It just more so annoys me for a conversation that they have in episode 4. But yeah, I can't say that I've noticed that or really felt that at all. Especially like, I mean, because she's wearing like a puffer jacket, a puffy jacket throughout.
I can't remember. Episode. Yeah, I can't remember what still they picked the image up from. But granted, it did feel a little bit like cherry picking.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Like a picture of Game Dina and a picture of Isabella Merced. But I guess we can talk about that when we get into this next episode, and just the whole like Dina adaptation of it all.
In terms of appealing to a certain audience, I think, and I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast yet. I do think that they're very much appealing to people who didn't like the game for very specific reasons. Actually, I think I did touch on this on the podcast a little bit with like episode 2 and how Dina calls out Joel's name. That was a big complaint people had. Oh, why would Joel just say his name like that? Yada yada yada. And in almost every facet of things that were controversial when the game came out, they are like reversing course. I mean, down to the fact that Abby was buff, like that was a thing that people were pissed about, and now Abby's not buff. They chose an actress who's not buff and didn't make her bulk up to do it, even though I've had my stance on this. I don't really think that it's like that important to Abby's character. I think it more so just shows how prepared she was when it came to Joel, like how much she devoted her life to Joel after he killed her dad. I think beyond that, it doesn't really serve a purpose, her physique. But it's just, I will say it is another example of like potentially leaning into the people who hated it and trying to make them like this. Whereas I mean, I'll say so far the conversation online, it's not looking like you're making game fans mad as well as people who already didn't like part 2, which like most people who didn't like part 2 of the game were not going to like season 2 anyway. But specifically, things like down to the spores not existing. And this is more of like a complaint about season 1 more so than season 2. And I do think that this is gonna like I just made a video about this before we started recording. I do think it's all gonna make narrative sense and it's gonna be there. But I do think that somebody I saw brought up a good point about how like you're kind of like you're not sticking to your guns on things that you made a conscious choice about before, like with the spores not being a thing, and like now you're integrating them when you could have before, but for whatever reason, not wanting Pedro Pascal to wear a gas mask. I've seen that kind of idea going around. Whatever it may be, I don't know. It's just strange. But to focus on episode 4 specifically, I honestly thought it was a fantastic episode. Literally almost everything about it I thought was a fucking banger, with the exception of Ellie's writing and Ellie and Dina's relationship and how it culminates at the end of the episode specifically. But
Yeah.
literally, I'll go through the positives first. Like Isaac, the stuff, dude. Jeffrey Wright back as Isaac, fantastic. I knew it was going to be fantastic, and it's great to see it here. He's fucking, oh my gosh, dude. Like Jeffrey Wright is a fucking like you want to talk about what if? He's the best part, you know? He's the best part. Uatu, nice job. All right.
Yeah.
But he's fantastic. It was weird to see Josh in this shit from Drake and Josh. It was very
It's so
like I was
cool.
thrown for a loop.
It's so cool that he like loves the game and the show so much, and so he's just like, I just want to be a part of that. Like, can I just have? I thought that was really cool to see him talk about the role afterwards and just be like, man, like this was just such a cool thing for me to do, and like celebrating it all over social media, uploading pictures of him behind the scenes with the suit on and whatnot. So for that aspect, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The memes were funny where they were like, Josh, like me clicking The Last of Us, getting ready to watch the episode. Josh, is that you?
I saw one of like the episode of them in the treehouse where they get locked inside, and like that was them inside the truck when Isaac threw the grenades in.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, that stuff was really good and added a lot of stuff to Isaac's backstory, and I'm sure we'll probably get more hints of that and how it like even looking at the stark change of like how angry he was with his Fedra platoon and how they dehumanized people. And then now seeing the stark contrast of him dehumanizing a whole nother group of people, calling them monsters. And like even the guy that he saved out of the truck now, who was like the good guy in that scenario back then, now is referring to the Seraphites as animals and like fucking animals. Good, they deserve that. You know, it's like it's crazy, and I'm sure we'll see more of that, and that's great. The take on me scene was great. It was good. Not as good as the game, of course. I feel like it needs to be said, but doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Is also another big highlight. Speaking of Isabella Merced, I thought she was a fucking knockout of an acting performance this entire episode. The take on me scene, that was so fucking believable, watching her fall in love with Ellie, like watching her just looking on in awe. Her sheer horror when she thought she'd have to shoot Ellie and kill Ellie. Great stuff. Isabella Merced was a huge standout this episode. Acted circles around Bella, even I would say, and I give Bella her flowers on whenever she deserves them, whenever they deserve them. But with all of that said, and I guess I should talk about the infected too. So, like that stuff in the subway was really good. The WLF fight and the broadcast station. The sets also I want to talk about very well. Like holy shit! Like we talked about sets on Andor, and you did talk about sets on Andor. Sets on here just as fucking like, and they really enwrap you into the world, and like that felt like a shot straight out of the game. All the bodies hanging up there with their guts hanging out.
Well,
was
even
so
the
good.
Ellie shanking the dude's neck, like I was like, oh, there we go.
Yeah, did it just like how she did Jordan. Yeah, but. To get to the points that I'm talking about, I thought the beginning part of it where Ellie gets bit and the tense nature of it all was really well done. Like, why did you have to fucking do that? Don't make this harder than it has to be. And then Ellie's like, don't fucking shoot me, Dina. I'm immune. I can't get infected. But dude, and this is the best way I saw it put. Like, it felt like it played out like a bad, horribly written fan fiction after that. Like, Ellie wakes up and first she starts like freaking out, which I thought that was a good touch with the water on her. And then she's like, no, it's just droplets of water. And then Dina just gets up and looking at her. And she's like, Ellie, I'm pregnant. And then they just start fucking. They just start fucking right there. What? What you just learned? I'm sorry. You just learned that she's the only immune person you've ever seen in your entire fucking life, right? You just had that confirmed, and you're immediately on just like, oh, let me drop my pants real quick. And then Ellie just learned that. Well, she didn't just learn that you went back with Jesse. She learned that last episode, but she just learned that you're pregnant now on this revenge mission that you guys are both risking your life on. And Ellie too is just like, yeah, let me get my pants off as well. What the fuck? What are we talking about? How? And dude, their justification for it on the podcast, dude, the podcast is Troy Baker, the voice of Joel in the games, Craig Mazin, the writer of the show, the showrunner, and Neil Druckmann, the writer and director of the game. And Neil Druckmann, with a straight ass fucking face, he's like, we only make changes. We only make changes if it's gonna be better. If we think it's gonna be better. How the fuck was this better, Neil? Yeah. How the fuck was this better than the couch weed scene happening before? Like their explanation of it was, Dina felt like she had just realized that she's not gonna lose Ellie because she's immune, and she had all these things going through her mind of how she could have lost Ellie, and like, I'm so glad that I didn't lose her. So now let me take advantage of the opportunity, which sure sounds nice, sounds great. But all of the revelations that just happened right there, I don't like that that does not feel like the right scenario in which that happens. And I've been on a tear lately on TikTok with Ellie not having her mind focused on what it should be fucking focused on. And again, I'm really trying hard not to be the game. The game is perfect. If it's not like this in the game, it's not like that in the game. I'm really trying not to be. I'm just touching on Ellie and how she's been written in the show so far. So this is what I said today in a video. Just looking at how Ellie's been written in the show, why is she not more focused on Joel right now? I've seen people talk up and down the street. Well, it's been a 3-month time jump. That's not an excuse. We saw in episode 3 when she gets out of the hospital, she's still in relatively really good physical form. She's hitting a heavy bag with Jesse, and Jesse's like, "Well, how are you totally fine after sitting in the hospital for 3 months?" She's like, "Oh, I did push-ups whenever I could, and I snuck some sit-ups when they weren't looking." So, dude, she was preparing. She wanted to be ready for this kind of thing. And sure, she's shoving her emotions down so other people don't see them. But the moment she's alone, she has a face of just of lostness, and if that's even a word, sadness and just longing, alone in Joel's house, breaking down in tears. And then when Dina, after 3 months, because people love to say it's been 3 months, she's had time to live with it. Of course she's not going to be that mad. After 3 months of sitting with it, the fucking moment, sorry I'm cussing so much, the fucking moment that Dina tells her Abby's name, it's fucking Abby. Abby's her fucking name. I'm gonna kill that bitch. Like, yeah. And all of that is gone. Like, that is non-existent in this part of the story whatsoever. And it's such a good layup, bro. That's like all of that writing that I just mentioned, I thought was really fucking good. I think is really fucking good for Ellie's character and really good to build her and push her into the spot where she needs to be going into day 1 of Seattle. But they don't do anything with it. Like the most they do with it when they go to Seattle and they see the broadcast station, Ellie sees the giant WLF sign. Ellie's like, she completely disregards any sort of strategy. She's just like, I'm going straight towards that building. And Dina has to talk her down and be like, It'd be smarter to wait till night so they can't see us coming and we walk around. That's the only thing that they did. That's the only thing they did with it. Everything else, Ellie's just like, she doesn't care. Her mind's on so many different other things. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to be a dad. Oh my God, Dina loves me. Oh my God, I don't know, something else, but whatever, bro. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it just doesn't matter to her. And people are like, and I believe this as well. People are saying, oh, well, it's probably going to happen soon in like the next episode or the episode after. Maybe it's going to be the Nora thing. That really like flips the switch and just turns on her tunnel vision on her goal.
It should be
Why
now.
does she need that? Exactly.
Yeah.
Why does she need that? Her father figure died in front of her. Why does she need a moment to flip a switch and be locked in? That does not make sense, man. Like that's not good writing. I'm sorry, bro. And I'm not trying to like, I really don't want to like attack. I know the big thing right now, like Soup says this all the time, and I give him props for it. Truthfully, like whenever something's bad, he's like, first of all, I just want to thank, like, it takes a village. Like, thank you everybody involved, and like I mean that as well to the whole hardest extent. But like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? What are we doing? And then sorry, I know I've been yapping a while. The last thing I want to say, is about I've seen this sentiment lately as well, because this is the people's retort to why she's not feeling that way right now as well. It's that she's not frustrated, because in the game, when they got to Seattle day one, what happens? They find first they're walking along, Shimmer gets blown up, they get taken captive by Jordan. They find Jordan. Well, Jordan was one of the people in the group that was there when Joel was killed. Ellie kills Jordan right there. That's already one of the people down, right? Keep that in mind. One of the people down already. Then after that, they're walking along Seattle some more. They find the broadcast station. They go into a different room. They find Leah, who was Jordan's girlfriend, who was also there when Joel was killed. She's already dead, though. They find her and she's dead, but they find pictures, little Polaroids with everybody's faces on them. So now they know what every single one of them look like. They know all of their names. What about that should be frustrating? What about that should frustrate Ellie? Because that's what people's point is that after in Seattle day one in the game, Ellie's frustrated because all they find is Jordan and Leah. And one of the people that Tommy interrogated and killed, who was also part of the group. I don't know that guy's name, but that's all they find. I'm sorry, how the fuck is that all they find? That should be a cause for She killed herself. One of the people that were in that room found another one and found Polaroids with all of their pictures on them. What is frustrating about that? They're trying to say that that's why she was mad at Dina when Dina told her that she was pregnant. That all these emotions, all these frustrations throughout the whole day just came out at Dina right there. I'm sorry, no. They don't even set that up in the game. That's not something like, there's not a moment where Ellie's like, oh my God, like this feels hopeless. We're not going to find them. There's not a moment like that in the game. That does not happen. People are just making up their own headcanon to make that make sense in their mind, to try to excuse the show. And I'm sorry, that's not how it works. That is, I'm so impassioned by this, I know, but it's just like, if you're gonna, like, I love the fuck out of this game, dude. Probably one of if not my favorite games of all time. And like the writing you're doing beforehand, I was giving you so many outs and I was supporting it all the way through. But now you're not backing up your own fucking writing, and it's insane to me that like you can lay it out like that, and you're dropping the ball. But sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ray.
No. I mean, you said it you said it better than I ever could. I completely agree. I said on Twitter, I tweeted that I feel like they're Disneyfying Ellie in a way, for the casual audience watching, maybe even just for any TV watchers of the show, compared to Ellie in the game. Point in case, that moment where she says, I'm pregnant. She said, well, how long did you know? I was late a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks, that's enough time for us to turn around and go back. Like, I didn't want to be a burden. And, well, you're a burden now. Like, now you are, compared to, I'm going to be a dad. Me, Jesse, and you are going to be a dad. Like, it's just like, man, like, I want to see a vengeful Ellie. And I mean, it's everything that you said. I'm just going to echo everything that you said. And it should have happened, and it could have happened, but instead, as soon as she wakes up, there's a big time jump. And nothing has happened. Tommy hasn't even left.
Which I do want to say, like, I'm okay. Like I explained, I'm okay with the time jump. I still think that you can do the time jump and have Ellie be as mad as she is in the game. Like, I think you can do that, but they just they didn't, and it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why is Joel just such an afterthought? But sorry,
exactly. No, and that's the thing. Like, she wakes up and it's like, okay, now she's rested, recovered. A whole bunch of time has gone by, and then she's mad because Dina has held this information from her. But she says, if Dina would have told her right there, Dina says, if I would have given you those names, you would have been up and you would have gotten out, and I knew that you weren't healthy enough to do that. But still, cool. You're telling us that she has that drive in her. You're telling us that she has the motivation to go do something like that. And then you absolutely fumble it the next episode. You absolutely fumble it a couple scenes later, whenever she's just going up to everybody, looking to see if it's okay to go. And I don't know how they did it in the game. I'm so like faint on the game. I've been wanting to play through it again, or at bare minimum just watch a walkthrough of it, so that I actually like refresh myself of events from the first game or from the second game before watching the episodes. But I've been able to. Been watching Andor. But still, I see Ellie as the type to just immediately go after Abby and her crew. I see Tommy as the type to immediately go after Abby and her crew, because he did that in the game. And they have backtracked all of that. And we get to the point where they're sitting down talking in the theater, or where they're having sex over there whenever they should be looking and scrounging around to find Abby and hunting her down. And they're just not doing it. She's just not vengeful. She's laughing. She's being lovey and, Disney princess with Dina, and they're riding off into the sunset. And it's just like, man, where is the struggle? Where is I mean, it's literally like your friendly neighborhood Spiderman, Peter Parker. Where's the struggle?
No way. No way.
I just did that to please you and Ben. It's just there is no loss. There is no regret on her face at all in this sequence until she finds out at Nora's location. But again, all of these are just moments. It's not eating her up. It's not making her vengeful and a dick to Dina in those moments where Dina tells her that she's pregnant and she's like, my God, you are messing this up. I need to get revenge. Why now? Instead, she's embracing that, and she's, we can take the night, we can take the night to think about it and sleep it off and wake up in the morning and talk about it then. And it's like, God, it's bad enough that months have already passed and you're just now venturing out, because I don't know. The more I think about that, the more I'm like, Jesus Christ, the more it kind of does hinder me a bit because of how they haven't capitalized on it. It's bad enough that months have passed and you're still just like lollygagging, but now you're just not even carrying it with you. And that review that I sent you before the season came out, where they said that it feels a lot like the Dina and Ellie show. I get it. It sounded great before it came out. Seeing it happen and seeing it play out, I am not for it. I am not all for it at all. Because the Dina and Ellie show is starting to look like a fucking rom-com and not like a revenge story that I have been waiting and wanting to see. And it's not even like I'm sitting here on some Star Wars theory versus Andor type shit. It's not even like that, because y'all have a whole second game where y'all have implemented all of these things that I'm wanting to see. Y'all have done this before. Y'all have made this point. Y'all have had a whole second game about it. It's not like this is a new medium. It's not like this is a new IP that I'm witnessing for the first time, and I'm getting mad because my girl characters aren't acting like men. That's not what it is at all, because y'all have showed me what y'all can do with these badass characters in the past that you're just not doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Yeah. It's so 100%. Frustrating.
100%. And I want to say too, like, part of why I don't like the sex scene as well is like, and I have a second point to this as well, which ties into the episode 3 thing that I meant to talk about, but I haven't yet. But I was going to say the placement of it, like, it also ties into my conversation of why Ellie, like, how Ellie is just not vengeful about Joel at all. Like, this, it should have happened before Joel died. And that's why it works better in the game, because it happens technically as Joel is dying. And because Ellie has nothing else to think about. Like, she's fully focused on Dina and like this relationship, and like she wants this to work. But here, like, I just don't buy that she should be thinking about getting with Dina right now. Why? Like, you guys are in hostile territory. You barely just got out with your lives, and you're chasing this this idea, this idea of a person, this goal, and you that's what is on your mind, in my mind anyway. That's what, and how they set up Ellie. That's what should be on her mind, dude. Like, somebody else pointed this out. I think it was on Twitter, maybe it was in a TikTok comment. It doesn't matter, but her looking at how Bella can portray rage back in season 1 when she was in the cage with I forget the weird guys, David, when she was in David's cage, bro, like, and you're not letting Bella put out that sort of rage. Like, the most we saw of it was right when Joel died. And she's like, you're all gonna fucking die. And that was really good. That was done really well. I don't think I mentioned that at the time, but like, I get chills every time I hear that part again, because I think that Bella might have even portrayed the rage part in that moment better than in the game. Like, it's guttural. It's so well done. And we're not getting it at all in the show. There's fucking 3 episodes left, man. It's a 7-episode season. Like, what? Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like the main point right there is like, the sex scene should have happened before Joel died. Like, I find such a hard time believing that it happens now afterwards, because it leans into the fact that Ellie just doesn't care as much as she's claiming she does to go on this mission to do this, when she sets all of it aside. But the other thing I was going to say is, after they're done having sex, the next morning, Ellie asks her, like, why did this happen? And Dina tells her, and I want to forget about what I mentioned with the podcast, because a viewer shouldn't have to listen to the podcast to understand why that happened. So we're just going to go off of what the show said, right? So Ellie asks Dina why that happened. And then Dina tells her, well, I was just thinking about everything that I was about to lose, the future that I had envisioned for us, a baby together, all of us maybe growing up she didn't say on a farm, but I forget I said that, actually. I had this future envisioned for us, and I just don't see it. For a second there, I just didn't see it happening. I'm sorry. When did you envision this future? Fucking an hour ago, you were telling her, you're gay, I'm straight, I don't like you like that. I actually just got back with my boyfriend while you were in the hospital. I really don't like you. So where the fuck, when did you have this thought, this deep thought about, I'm going to build a future with this girl, and we're going to have this baby together, and we're going to raise it together? Like, what? That was not portrayed at all. The one caveat I'll give is maybe the Take On Me scene. Maybe. Like, when she's sitting there listening to Ellie play and watching her. And, like, again, Isabella had a wonderful performance looking at Bella. So maybe that scene. But still, it's just like, there was no, like, I feel like you can't do that. You can't have one moment where she's being pretty manipulative and kind of mean in the tent. Like, even if she's flirting, like, that's fucking mean flirting. That's not playful. That's just like you're playing with her feelings, essentially. You're saying, yeah, I got back with my boyfriend, and also you're gay, I'm straight. I just want to know if I'm a good kisser, like, that's fucked up. And then to try to rectify that, you have one moment where she's looking at Bella or at Ellie longingly. And then now all of a sudden she had this crazy far in the future thought about their future together. And the idea of Ellie getting bit was enough to make you want to jump her bones. What? I didn't like it's again, bad fan fiction. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. The almost character assassination of Dina that these past 2 episodes are getting close to is a real bummer. Because I love Dina and Ellie so wholeheartedly in The Last of Us Part 2. Ellie is one of my favorite characters ever of all time. She is up there as one of my favorite characters ever of all time. And I mean, man, it's just not hitting for me, which is crazy that my favorite relationship in any video game I've played is just not doing it for me in this iteration, in this telling of the story. And yeah,
especially
that
when
conversation
season 1 was so good and like it can be good, bro.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the moments in season 1, the stuff with Henry, the stuff with Bill and Frank, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It just looking at that compared to this, it's like, oh man, I don't know. And that's the thing. Like you mentioned it earlier. Yeah, you can fix it in the next 3 episodes. You can have Ellie go on a rage. You can do all the things that we've been wanting you to do, but it doesn't fix the fact that she is not doing it right now, and that was not the first thing on her mind when she woke up. It doesn't fix the fact that Tommy's just kicking back, watching kids play t-ball, drinking a beer, while his brother's killers are just running around freely, doing whatever they want. God, it makes me so mad. The Tommy stuff really makes me very mad.
And honestly, I think Tommy and Jesse are going to show up together. If I had to guess, if I had to take a guess, I think they're going to show up together. But
that makes sense. Yeah.
It's still
it's like you're too late. You're 2 episodes too late.
Yeah. Why? And that's the thing. When they show up, like they're not showing up for that. They're showing up to find Ellie and Dina. Like that's it. They're not there for anything else. That's what Jesse was there for originally, right? In the game. So fair play. But in terms of Tommy, like all he's going to be there for this time around is to get Ellie and Dina and bring them back home safely. Like he's just, I don't know. I made a video on TikTok. Like I was trying to back up the writing choice of not having Tommy there. Like I was like, that's his brother. It's built-in empathy, built-in grief, built-in anger. Like, of course, like he doesn't have to be there to see his brother die, to know that he was, to hear that he was killed by people, by a murderous like psychopath with a golf club. He doesn't have to be there to feel that anger and want revenge for it because it's built in. Like that's his brother. But apparently he does have to be there because he just doesn't fucking like what? I'm sure on the panel he voted to have to send people to go, but just
that's the thing. Bro. It's like what? He's just sitting there. I vote yes, we go. Oh, nobody voted? Okay, then we won't. Fuck that. Get up and go avenge your brother, dude. What the
bro, he was part of Operation Desert Storm in season 1. Like he has that bumper sticker on his truck. So like Tommy was in the military before the outbreak and everything. Bro's chilling. Nah, bro's fine, bro. My brother. Shit, bro. Anybody got a mimosa?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
Oh my god, dude. Kicking back, drinking a Bud Light with a therapist, watching T-ball over avenging your dead brother. Oh man, yeah. I mean, jeez.
Season 2's a flop so far, man. It's a flop so far.
And it's sad to come to that decision, but you know, it sucks because man, after that second episode, I'm like, man, this was the greatest episode of the entire show. This was the best episode of the entire show. I loved it from beginning to end. And you look back at where we've gone since, and it's like, the absolute plummet after that second episode is something that should be studied in all film schools around.
And
No,
it's
I'm over
crazy. It's
exaggerating
crazy.
there.
Over exaggerating. It's
But.
crazy. It's crazy to think too, because like we still have episode 6, which all of the creatives behind the show keep revering and saying that that was a great episode, a hard one to shoot, whatever. I wonder if that ends up being a flashback sequence. Ben, if you are listening to this episode, I think we've done a good job of staying away from future spoilers, but we might I might dive into them a little bit here.
Yeah.
Just so you're
Well,
forewarned.
this is a spoiler warning for if you have not played the games.
Yeah. So so far what I'm thinking now, because episode 6 is after next week, and next week we know we have to get a flashback sequence with Joel because they're in the trailer for the show. Like there are flashback scenes with Pedro that we have not seen yet. But the preview for next week's episode 5, is clearly just focused on Ellie in the hospital and Nora and spores and whatnot. Clearly not going to happen next episode unless the flashback sequence is like 10 minutes long, 10 minutes of the episode. So I'm thinking maybe it's like the museum scene or something, and that's what's hard for them to shoot, or like it was joyful tears and the space part, which staple in the game. I feel like you probably have to have that in the show. But 3 episodes left, dude. I don't think that there's much they can do to change the course of this and make it a positive viewing season for me.
Yeah.
And then
It's
to
a lot
think
of
like
ground.
if season 3 is solely focused on Abby, dude, that's just gonna
Oh yeah.
it's gonna well, like I like Abby, and I'm down to follow Abby's story, but just if we're gonna leave Ellie in such like a terribly written spot, like I don't know. Again, I'm jumping the gun. I do think that there's gonna be better. I'm hoping, maybe I'm coping actually. The idea of her, I don't know, more focused mind being turned on, and it's gonna be great after that fact. But truthfully, that's a hope and a dream that
Yeah.
is, even if it does happen, it's like it's gonna take a lot to. It doesn't undo this, as you already said. Like it doesn't undo where we're at right now. And
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. The other game stuff that I was talking about, that I wanted to talk about, was even Tommy coming back to Ellie towards the end and being like, this is it. This is our only chance. If we want to go kill her, we take this chance now. How do you get there whenever he's literally just going because I'm scared to go. Jesse, come with me, since we're both connected to both of the people out there. Like, dude, Ellie and Dina having more balls than Jesse and Tommy to go out there and look for Joel. I mean, more so Tommy in this iteration. It's just like, oh my gosh, man. Like, how do you get to that moment if the only reason Tommy is going out there is to retrieve Ellie and Dina, or is just to go make sure Ellie and Dina are okay? Because why else would he go? Because he just has a sudden change of heart and he's just like, you know what? I need to go save Joel. She's right. I need to go. At this point, dude, it's too late for anything unless. Which, let me know what you think of this. If we do get the scene where, God, I forget who it is. I forget which one of her crew just gets like absolutely obliterated by him, and sniped in the face.
Oh man.
Manny. If we just get that scene out of nowhere and you find out that, this whole time, like after that scene with the therapist, he got up and he was just like, I have to go. I'm going. And if I have to go do this by myself, I'm going to do this by myself. And he takes off and we find out that he's been there. Yeah.
I might vibe with that.
And then we get to and we see that he's been there the whole time, and that it'd be like all the stars align type of moment of like, oh, hey, Ellie and Dina are here at the same exact time that Tommy gets, unless he's the one that took out the crew, the some of Abby's crew before they got there. But us seeing him at the same time as Ellie and Dina seeing him, being like, oh, he is here and he is bought in. And Jesse is coming after all three of them to make sure they're fine and don't need backup. I don't know. Maybe that's the way they could do it, but regardless, I want to know how you justify getting to that scene of Tommy being like, "This is our only chance. We either go now or we miss it. But if we want to go kill Abby, this is the chance. This is the shot." How you get to that scene after all this? Oh, if you saw your opportunity and you're coming to Ellie now to present the opportunity, why'd you wait 3 fucking months? Why'd you wait so long last time? Now, there's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm holding out hope. Obviously, I'm going to keep watching, but season 1 is so much better right now.
Yeah.
And that pains me because I like part 2 the game more than part 1 the game. So.
Yeah. And then opening season 3 with Abby and just chilling with Abby for the better half of season 3. Don't know how that's going to go. I don't know how someone like Ben will react to that. I mean, he'll probably absolutely hate it, which he has every right to in terms of the live action. Yeah, I don't know. Not that we'd ever be able to get him to, but I really, in a perfect world, would want to see what he thinks playing the game. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
The mid of us, the chopped of us,
the chopped of us. That is our review of the chopped of us episodes 3 and 4. What an amazing episode nonetheless. Like I said, I was insanely excited to get in, talk about Andor, talk about the MCU stuff today, The Last of Us. Even though I knew that today's discussion would be a heated one of The Last of Us, I was still excited to get all my frustrations out. But man, even just a peak show like Andor, how incredible Andor's been. We talked about Andor for an hour and 12 minutes, and we talked about The Last of Us for 50 minutes. Hey, you know what? I'm fine with that. Maybe it was good that Ben skipped out on this one, or else I guarantee you it probably would have been a 3.5 hour conversation.
Yeah.
We easily would have pushed that 3.5 hour mark.
We both yapped for a long time. You yapped for a while about Andor. I yapped for a while about The Last one.
I mean, hey, it's what a time to be alive. You know, I thought after Severance and Invincible was over, that it would be kind of dry with just Daredevil and whatever. Honestly, that's probably, I forgot to bring this up earlier, that's probably another one that I'm already starting to look back on and be like, well,
Daredevil? Well,
not that great.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
I mean, I feel like you and I rated it as such. Benjamin, he was over here like, oh no, it's better than season 2.
Yeah.
It's better than season 2 of the show.
I did rate it like that. I did rate, but I feel like I'm coming down even a little bit more, just a little bit, especially after watching something like Andor, man. It's something about just going to this. Like, I don't know if you've seen that clip going around of Ahsoka like fighting the Blast. And they're like, you're gonna have to do some very heavy lifting work to go from Andor to something like this next Star Wars TV show. Whatever. I mean, there's something for everyone. Star Wars theory will love. Dude, can you believe he said the R word doesn't belong in Star Wars? He said, bro, verbatim, he said
Darth Vader would never stand for that.
R word doesn't belong in Star Wars. I don't know. Y'all can enjoy your show, enjoy your realism. I'm like, what?
Hey, it's bad too when like the people that he surrounds himself with, like the other terrible critic or YouTuber or whatever, like the critical drinker. He was like, he didn't come at him, but he basically challenged his viewpoint on like he said that like that's dumb. Like what do you that doesn't make any what bearing does Darth Vader hold in this scenario here? Like it's a show about real people in this galaxy, and like this could happen,
If the critical drinker is telling you you're out of your mind, buddy, boy, are you messed up somewhere. Yeah, it's funny. I saw after episode 7, 8, and 9 came out, I saw a tweet. They put at Star Wars Theory, bro, Vader's in episode 9. You should definitely check that one out. Try to bait him to watch the best episode of the show.
Oh, shit.
Crazy. Yeah, I forgot to mention the Star Wars theory of it all. Oh my gosh,
I
bro!
mean,
Because I didn't get to participate in the Andor discussion a couple years ago. Whenever everyone was starting up the whole "this is bad, this is trash," and the whole other art
sure.
side being like "this is the greatest thing Star Wars ever done." But now I'm getting to see some of it, and I'm like, well. And the crazy thing is I didn't watch the Acolyte. I watched a little bit of a couple of episodes, and that told me everything I need to know. It was dog shit. Every scene that I watched was dog shit. The Acolyte is ass. He watched that entire show, reviewed the entire show. This is the first and only Star Wars anything that he's not covering.
What? All
Why?
because of the R word thing? What?
I don't. But that's the thing. That happened. This like in the second. I don't know. I don't know what he. I actually want to go back. Sometimes I just like want to cringe a little bit. I just like watching cringe bait, so I'll
Sure.
watch his videos for that. And so I want to go back and see if he reviewed season 1 and what he thought of season 1, or if he's just like straight up not covering the show at all. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny because he ended it off by being like, "Y'all enjoy your show. Just leave me alone." And everyone in the comments was like, "We will definitely enjoy our show. Like, thank you for not covering this." Yeah, crazy.
What a weirdo.
Very excited for next week. If you've listened this long, thank you. I didn't even talk about I didn't even read the comments from last week, which it was Brandon.
Oh yeah, we had Brandon.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. I mean, I was just excited to talk about Andor. So excited, and I'm glad that we did. So, an episode from the OGs, an episode from the unks of the channel. We are signing off. Keep an eye out for next week. Our full season 2 Andor review, some more Last of Us, and a list update, and a great return from your boy Benja Movies. That is it from us. We will see you in the next one. Peace.
Adios.